evening, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Talent New Year, Save the Beer, Taylor. It is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We're coming at you live and direct from Sharkies. Once again, that makes you know it is another Wednesday. It is another hump day. Boy, we about to have a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. We got a big show for you guys today. We got a big show for you guys today. You can't see my boy JR over here to the side, but JR came to join us again. There he goes. The sun, we gotta get into it all. The Suns can't shine. We got birthday shout outs. We got Brooks, he's out. That was kind of shocking, right? We got Heat, Knicks, they force a split. We got a Blue Chew promo code again for you guys today. The Lakers steal the show. MVP is revealed. I told you we was on your live at Sharkies. I told you that today was Wednesday. I told you today was hump day. I told you I may be doing trivia. I told you I got blue. I have all that and more coming up next right here on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here? It's regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. Hey, yo, Coach, you have any kind of inspirational words for them?
You play to win the game. Hello?
So let's start talking. Back at whoa. Let me back that up. So let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. It's something you don't know about me, Joe Rogan. I talk sports. MyT Sports. I know the show's late today. I can't even fly. I'm going to sit here and be like, hey, yo, this is regular start time. We're an hour and a half late today. But I moved. I used to live 10 minutes away, and I live in Boynton.
That's a lot farther.
Yeah.
10 minutes away.
And this is moving me.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So I've been back and forth the whole time. There won't be no show Friday. Just to let you guys know, just to remind you. There won't be any show Friday. But just remember, if you want to listen to the show live or you want to catch the re-air of the show, you can listen on Pandora, you can listen on TuneIn, you can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, any place that you consume podcasts. Anytime you consume digital radio at, anytime you consume digital videos at the MyT Sports Podcast is basically there. Find the MyT Sports Podcast. You like, you share, you follow. That way you can hear that
Bing bong.
every time that we go on. Now, if you ever been here before, right, we like to start off every single show with a little birthday celebration on. We like to start off every show with giving a little shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air. Last time we was on the air happened to be on Monday. So we selling everybody's birthday for the 2nd. We're selling everybody's birthday for today, the 3rd. So you know what you need to start doing. You know what time it is. Start tagging your friends. If you know somebody had a birthday yesterday, you start getting them in the show. You start tagging them. You start adding them. You drop their names. You drop their names in the comment section. Also, make sure you drop me a couple of orange and blue hearts. You know how we do here. Orange and blue skies. We trying to fly high with the Knicks today. I know we down here in South Florida. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to ruffle for some feathers. I'm trying to manipulate the flame. You understand? Instead of it being a red and black flame, I'm trying to make that flame orange and blue. You know, that temperature is a little bit better when it's orange and blue. So you make sure you get your birthday people up in here so they can get their birthday shout out. Because you know what? I don't have a lot more time to spare. So you get your joints ready. You pack your bowl, right? You heat up your rigs. You get yourself a beer. You pour yourself a shot. Maybe you go drink some water. Get yourself some apple juice. Pour yourself a glass of milk. You know, if you're not, lactose intolerant, right? It does a body good. Whatever you do, let's go ahead and get ready to join this show. Hey, yo, DJ MyT, go ahead and drop a beat for me. Much better, right? Because it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. All right, we only got a couple of birthday shout outs like that we got to get. Actually, we only got one birthday shout out to get there, right? And that is one birthday shout out to my homegirl, Angelica Losada. Want to say happy birthday to you. She had a birthday yesterday on May 2nd. Want to say happy birthday to you. So you know what we say on the MyT Sports Podcast, right? We want to wish you a happy birthday. We hope you party hard. We hope you enjoy everything. You regret nothing. But more importantly, you continue to stay MyT. Cut that video. It was a quick birthday party.
Very good.
We had a quick birthday party. That's what happens when you have one birthday party. I don't know what's going on. What was 9 months ago? What was 9 months ago?
What is it?
What was that, September?
What is it?
No. Nobody's getting it on for Labor Day? That was good. September.
No, you might be right.
September. 4 and 5.
Well, they say September 9th is the most giving day of the year, to be honest.
Well, ain't nobody giving seeds.
Well, let's get this. No, that's who's giving birth. To be honest with you.
Is this the most birth? Oh, September. Okay. So that's what happened. Everybody's giving birth in September. So that's the reason why we got no birthdays celebrated in May. Oh, shit.
Well, my daughter's birthday is next. She was born on Mother's Day, every May 13th.
Oh, Mother's Day.
Every 5 years, her birthday's on Mother's Day.
Oh, that's right. Mother's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
or next week.
Next Sunday.
Oh, I have nothing planned. I haven't bought it. I've been moving. I haven't even thought about it. But that means that in the next week, I will be thinking about it heavily. I'm gonna have to coordinate with my brother. Like, hey yo, so when you taking mom for dinner so I can come to it?
Well, you got to do it, man.
Oh man, hey, it's gonna be exactly that. Let's get into the show, right? Let's get directly into our first topic of the day. And if you know what that means, that our first topic of the day, not even our first topic. Let's get into our MyT topic of the day, right? Now, MyT topic of the day is usually a topic that kind of supersedes all topics. It's a topic that I want to highlight more than any other topic.
Miami Heat.
Dallas Cowboys.
Right? Any other topic.
What's up, buddy?
Let's go to it, man. Right? Whether because it's either just that important or it just stuck out that much to me. So let's get into the topic of the day, which revolves around somebody that needs to have his story finished, right? I guess you could say now let's finish the story, right? And let's finish the story. It started off with an interview that said, "Are we good in the West? Only people we see is Boston."
That's the East.
It's no, because the only team that they see is going to be the team making it to the Eastern Conference Championship,
Miami, yeah.
which at the time started by saying,
Who are they going to beat? They need to get there.
but they said Boston because they were
You're
basing it
right.
off of
You're right.
the team that made it their last. It had nothing to do. Okay, guys, let me talk to me. I'm not talking hyperbole here or guesstimation.
No, you're right.
I'm giving results from an interview.
I was
Okay.
actually going to go into another part of the interview.
So it.
You remember the part where we said,
Wait, let me get. What you want? Go ahead. Hurry up.
Kylie Jenner don't want this ring, so I'm going to get it from a man CP3.
I have no clue what that. I don't remember that.
Devin Booker, same interview.
Okay.
He said Kylie
That's the
Jenner
West.
didn't want
That's
this.
the West.
That's actually relevant.
Yeah, but he was saying
I don't care about
the West.
I don't care about
He was
Kylie
saying
Jenner.
they're
Now
good.
the Lakers are going to win that in the
I know
West.
that.
Yeah.
That's what.
Okay. So that's Devin Booker. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Fuck.
He said
Okay,
that,
stop.
but you just said in his
Okay,
interview,
stop.
We good in the West.
Okay, so let me finish the story.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
This one you guys need to do more listening. This is the opening soliloquy to the show. Let me talk.
All right.
God damn it. Okay. Let's finish the story. It started off with an interview, and there's only one person that made a significant interview that said we good in the West. The only people we worried about is Boston. Then it evolved into some weird YMCA macho man dance routines. Right? Then it also turned into some YMCA macho man outfits. Did you see him looking like he was a henchman for Rick James?
And you know what the Lakers said?
Then it evolved again to the point that we probably remember the most. Oh, he old. I ain't gonna respect him till they give me 40. Then they got 40 on the closeout game. This whole entire time, there's been an antagonistic behavior, not just from Dylan Brooks. This whole entire Memphis Grizzlies squad, they follow the lead of not just their most gifted player in Ja Morant, but also who was their emotional leader in Dylan Brooks. It went from antagonistic behavior, not just from the team and Dylan Brooks, to now nut checks in the playoffs. To now where they're checking their bags out of the hotel. No more planes. No more PJs. You heard the name. It's Tyler New Year, save the bear. But the LeBron James said that old mystical line, if you see me in the forest fighting a grizzly bear, save the bear. Because they ain't going to need it.
That was Shannon Sharp.
It's a mystical line.
Oh, okay. So Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp didn't invent that line.
He didn't invent it.
Okay.
Shannon should have said it.
Okay, so you're up here every Wednesday?
Shut
No,
up.
all jokes aside, dog.
Every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. And he used to come up every Wednesday. I don't know what
I
happened to
know,
him.
they told me you weren't up here anymore.
Nah, he came back. He just took a little
I'll
help.
be up here. I'd love to see you.
I think I took maybe 2 weeks off, maybe.
In a row, scary.
And one of them was a thunderstorm or a tornado, whatever the hell happened. And I forgot what happened the week before that.
All right, I'll see you guys again.
All right, Pippin. So now it has reached its crescendo. If you haven't heard, the Memphis Grizzlies have decided to make Dylan Brooks the scapegoat. And I'm going to say this, and I mean it that way specifically. They have decided to make Dylan Brooks the scapegoat. They came out within the last 48 hours, all right, so the last time we was on air, and said that Dylan Brooks would not be brought back under any circumstances. They were very firm and very specific with their wording. He will not be brought back under any circumstances. What did he do?
Well, first of all, let's get into this. Dylan Brooks says, I poke bears. Guess what, you idiot? Your team mascot is a bear. You poked yourself. That's what he
Like you poked yourself, you poked your whole team using locker room poking everybody.
Have LeBron singing, I'm not scared of lions or tigers or bears. Oh no. I'm like, oh my God.
But
these guys are
LeBron,
fun.
but probably reason why Shannon Sharp may have said that, LeBron James was playing that Mr. song afterwards.
Okay. And guess what? Shannon Sharp said that after he messed with
Oh, did he?
Ja Morant.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, after that day
little incident where they lost 11 straight.
when he was at the thing. Oh, I didn't even know he said that. Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's an old school.
Ja,
It's an old school. Yeah, it's an old school mystical line. As you can see, this year I came into the podcast with one of the new names. Actually, at the beginning of the new year, it's telling New Year Save the Bear Taylor. That started in January. It just so happens that it was one of my nicknames, and it fits so perfectly for these Grizzlies. Damn it! Listen, I'm okay. So let's get into the funny part of it. It is ironic and it is funny that they got the way they got eliminated. It is funny and ironic that they got 40 put on them. It is funny and ironic that Dylan Brooks went from being the antagonist of the team to playing hide and seek on social media.
Well, here's the other thing Dylan Brooks has to realize. The bad boys didn't become the bad boys until they won the championship.
Until then, you're just a bunch of punks that talk shit.
Exactly.
You're Rasheed Wallace and the Portland Trailblazers.
Exactly. You can't be the villain and not win crap.
But also, you can't be a villain and shrink when things don't go your way.
Exactly.
You know what villains do when things don't go their way? They kidnap your loved ones, tie them to a train, and ask you to make a decision. What you gonna do, Batman? Save your broad or save all these millions of people? They double down. You went into hiding. Deleted all your tracks. No more interactions. No more bomb threats.
Did you really think?
No more taking over Gotham PD.
Gonna make you a better player, Dylan Brooks?
Well, some people make careers off of it because it's about intensity
But they're
and
already good before they become the villain.
no, What?
trying to be the villain and become good because of it.
Well, he was Patrick Beverly. Like Patrick Beverly is the same thing. Like Patrick Beverly averages a triple double in aggressive head nods, loud claps, right, and intense stare downs.
And if you're gonna study and be a villain, be Draymond Green.
Listen, yes, you got to be a man about it.
Kick a fool in his nuts, stomp on his chest, and win the championship.
Like if you're gonna hit him in his dick, like on that shit, be like, yo, his meat was there, and I was like, yo, it's a perfect chance for me to get back at him. And I realized I leave my lighter in the car. So that's the funny and ironic part, obviously, because there's some tongue in cheek to this. The part that's not funny to me is them releasing Dylan Brooks, because I want to know, organizational wise, what has he done wrong?
You mean other than be a jerk?
How many players aren't jerks? How many players? Like, there's too many players of his caliber that are jerks. What has he done wrong? He has been.
What he's done wrong is he really didn't help his team establish a productive culture. And if you're going to be a good player, I guess what the ownership of our Grizzlies is trying to say is, we want to establish a culture. We don't want to be the bad boys. We don't want to be a team full of villains. We don't want to poke bears, Dylan Brooks. We want to be a team that goes out there and wins.
It just plays basketball.
Yeah, plays basketball.
With no intensity.
And wins, not without intensity, and wins, but you got to have a unique swagger about you. In other words, what you just mentioned is what the Utah Jazz tried to do. A winning basketball team, play aggressive, but they didn't really have that intensity, that fire. Okay, they did a lot of stuff except win the championship because they didn't have fire in them to go and win the championship.
Memphis really was playing with fire. Has been playing with fire. Now, granted, they didn't make shots. They were inexperienced. They got sun.
Y'all played with fire.
Right?
Does that team play with fire?
Yes, that team plays with fire. Like I mentioned in the opening statement, Dylan Brooks was their emotional leader. While John Morant was their most gifted player and leader from that sense, their emotional leader has been Dylan Brooks. It gets looked as shenanigans at times, right? But listen to me. Wait, before we finish. But there is something to be said about the player in the locker room that can get 10 players emotionally on the same page. I can get 10. That's 2/3 of the room. That's 75%. Well, I'm not done yet.
All right.
That can get 10 guys in the locker room to come out and do a pre-game dance routine. Now, and I know you may overlook it, but that's getting the guys together. That's putting them all on one page. That's getting everybody with a singular focus. All right, we can do this, right? Okay, let's go ahead and bust some ass, because it ain't just about the dancing. Everybody may see the dance, but it's not about dancing. It's about getting everybody on one page, getting everybody motivated, getting everybody to buy in with the same message. And they were all bought in. Like he may have been the bad guy. He may have gotten the stare down of death from LeBron James, which was a weak ass stare down with that too. It was the softest stare down ever. That stare down was like when your uncle is staring you down, right, for something that you did wrong, only because your mother said you had to be in trouble for it, but really he's got to give you props about it. It was.
But see, what I'm saying is, the Heat used to do something like that, an organizational thing. They'd all get in a circle and they'd sing the words to the Mexican hat dance. And they dance in a circle, okay? Who didn't have to act like they were a part of a damn game to get everybody involved,
No.
to get everybody connected, to let them see the unity?
But who said Memphis act like a game?
They are. He's throwing quick signs, John Morant.
Okay, no.
Court.
But okay, we're talking. Okay, so
do all that.
we're talking about Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks isn't motivating by the throwing gang signs.
Dylan Brooks isn't, but what I'm saying, he's not necessarily, but I think he's feeding off that negative energy that John Morant's providing.
So Dylan Brooks is a scapegoat.
Well, he's feeding off the energy that John Morant is providing. But
that was my question. So Dylan Brooks today is a scapegoat.
He's the scapegoat because at the end of the day, what he's learning is, if you're going to be the guy with the negative energy, you better be the best player.
But what negative energy did Dylan Brooks bring?
Output Bears? You want to go after
That's
one of the
not
best
negative.
players of
That's
all time?
That's not negative. That's competitive energy.
You can be competitive without trying to make yourself a
Stop
character,
it.
and you don't have anything to really
Stop.
build on.
I'm sorry. Like,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I understand what you're trying to say is that he's trying to be like a Joakim
But
Noah,
okay, I understand. I understand nothing to build on, right?
Like you said,
but you said nothing to build on. But they have been building something for the 6 years that he has been there. They have gotten better every single year. Now, granted, it's not the job.
Is good enough.
Well, they're going through growing pains. So you understand. So you understand. As you go through your growing pains, you don't get rid of part of your emotional.
Well, look at what Golden State did.
Golden State didn't get rid of Draymond Green.
They didn't get rid of Draymond Green, but they got rid of the coach because they didn't think that he was getting them far enough.
But they didn't get rid of. But they didn't get rid of Draymond Green.
Not Draymond Green, but they did.
Okay, so we're comparing players to play. So we're comparing players to players.
No, I'm just saying
because
the teams.
So we're talking about emotional players are people that are players that motivate their team and have this kind of mentality. It's nothing to do with coaches.
All right. Well, what I was on was that the organization and the culture you're trying to build is what I was on, not just specifically a player, but the culture you're trying to build.
Even the culture.
And if you can't build that certain culture in the right way, teams are going to move on for it. And then put them in a
you
position.
said the right way. Right. What did he do wrong?
What did he do wrong?
Yes.
Here's what I think he did wrong. I think he focused more on the trash talk than he did on playing. And if he didn't do that, he trash talked the wrong reason.
Then that's not. There's something wrong with that because you know what? That's saying that you trash talk the wrong dude. That's saying when you see the best player in the league, you crumble and shut the fuck up. No, I ain't gonna shut the fuck up. I ain't a bitch.
You don't crumble and shut the hell up. You play winning basketball. You make him respect you, but he ain't gonna respect you if you talk your trash and you stay scoring on him. I'm
not a scorer, so I'm never gonna do that.
If you're not successful, he's gonna look at you like, "What are you, stupid? I don't respect you. You ain't on my level." And that's what happened. Dylan Brooks could not afford to be that guy.
Because, so now, Memphis Grizzlies, do they get better or worse next year without Dylan Brooks?
I don't know. Who can
okay, let's keep it simple, right? KISS. Let's keep it simple. Without Dylan Brooks, subtract or have, are they better or a worse team? Do they get better next year or they end up being a worse team?
Talent-wise, they're worse. Culture-wise, they need to be better.
So, when the team was looking like they ain't giving effort, when the team starts looking a little detached, when the team starts looking like, if they start looking, not when, I don't want to say when, if they start looking. Because I have a hard time swallowing the fact that your emotional leader, your Draymond Green of the team, as you're building your team, because they're gonna get there eventually. Nobody is a championship team overnight, right? No rookie is a champion overnight, right? Majority of them, they have to build it, and they have to go through the process. And part of that process is going to the first round and losing, going to the second round and losing, having a top 3 record and losing sometimes. Like that's sometimes part of your growing pains. When you're going through your growing pains, you don't suddenly get rid of one of your emotional leaders, unless you have a bigger point to prove. And Memphis Grizzlies, they actually fall into that category. The latter part.
That's what the organization is saying.
Is that
we have something to prove. We want to be an organization that plays winning basketball, but that also has a culture.
I don't see again. I don't see. No.
What the Lakers did with Magic.
Again, well, I'm gonna back you up.
And then, like I said,
I don't think
after they won it,
they have a culture. They have a culture in Memphis. Right?
Really?
They did.
I don't know what it is.
It's the grindhouse. Memphis has always been the grindhouse. It's been the culture of the grindhouse. What's going on, Bottles? We see you. How you doing? Welcome to the MyT podcast. We sure love, appreciate you. Right. So listen.
I mean, just Ja Morant. Who else is a star on that team?
JJJ. You might have won Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
Jared Jackson Jr.
All right. Jared Jackson Jr.
And he's a quiet guy.
Right. And then you have was Draymond, but the team did not try to absorb the culture of Draymond. Draymond was picked his battles. He picked his battles.
So maybe that now that's something that's talk about. That they didn't absorb his mentality. So whose mentality of they're absorbing? Was it Draymond Green's? Was it Dylan Brooks' mentality, or was it John Morant's mentality?
Well, here's the thing. John Morant, when you run around throwing up gang signs and you from the bird, dude, what are you doing? You're gifted and you worried about throwing up gang signs? I mean, come on. And then we know you're from a small town area. You go into a strip club and celebrating a woman servicing you in a strip club. I'm from South Florida. I don't have to be a pro basketball player to have that happen. All right? That ain't nothing to celebrate as a pro basketball player. Now, you could have got her butt to leave home and go home and find it. Okay, we didn't talk something there, but you wouldn't have filmed that, you knucklehead. Come on.
So, I want to wrap up this segment. I'm under the guise that Dylan Brooks ended up being the scapegoat. They have the culture they wanted to create, but that culture got completely derailed by John Morant this season. John Morant, as you was alluding to, John Morant's poor decisions this year, right, led to them either wanting or needing to make an organizational change. They weren't going to get rid of John Morant.
No, like I said, Dylan Brooks had to realize, you know what? There's only one person who can afford to really be a big villain on that team.
Two.
And that's John Morant.
John Morant and JJJ.
Okay.
22.
That's it. Now,
But see, I don't want to say can't afford to be a villain because Draymond Green has been a villain, right? But as you said, their emotional leader was not Draymond Green, right? Their emotional leader still was Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, people just don't see them following his competitive nature, and that's what all of that really stems from. And also Stephen Curry also being very firm in his own identity. Stephen Curry knew he was a man of God, knew what he wanted from his shoe deal, knew what he wanted in his contract, knew the beliefs and the things that he stood for. John Morant, not for nothing, based off this year, still look like he's still trying to find his own identity. So with an identity crisis from your leader, and you having a strong-willed person in there, right? And that strong-willed person just happened to also do some crazy shit in the media.
Well,
It's like firing the coach when you know it's not the coach's fault.
Well, this is something that you just alluded to. When you're the villain, you can't necessarily be the emotional leader. You just have to be the villain.
But that's not his fault.
Really?
No. Is it my fault, right? Say you're John Morant, I'm Dylan Brooks. Is it my fault that everybody follows me and not you?
It could be, but listen
Ow!
up. So listen, let me put this into a perspective here. Who's the greatest villain in the NBA?
Right now?
No.
Currently or of all time?
Not of all time.
Detroit Pistons.
Who was the villain?
Everybody on that Detroit Pistons. Bill
What?
Laimbeer and Mahorn.
Rodman.
Rodman, and then three, then Rodman.
Okay, my point is, they weren't the emotional leader. It was Isaiah Thomas.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying.
But also, like I said, we get the added cringe in John Morant. If John Morant doesn't do what he did this year, Dylan Brooks have to be still on that team. So let me put it in that frame.
Yep.
If John Morant didn't have his trouble in the law, right? Or I'm gonna say trouble in the law. Yeah, issues with kids, issues in the strip club, right? And then his opening statement, good in the West. It started there. So that's the first flashpoint. See, maybe they did follow his braggadocious nature, and then Dylan Brooks was just happened to be the what's the word I'm looking for?
But Dylan Brooks.
Let me finish the statement because I'm trying to make sure I don't. Because John Morant may have been that leader, but Dylan Brooks ended up being the physical manifestation of it. Like he's the one that we saw with the, you know what I mean, exuded it. While John Morant could have been, this could have been him in the back.
Here's my deal.
Because you heard that interview. That interview comes out of nowhere. That interview doesn't come out of nowhere. We good in the West.
Well,
That sounds like that is no different.
I heard Devin Booker say the same line. That's why I thought you did that. All I'm saying is this.
He said it afterwards.
All I'm saying is this.
That's no different than Dylan Brooks' comment.
In America, we have the right, but it doesn't make it right. Yes, you have the right to do what you want to do, Dylan Brooks, and try to be that bad boy and this, that, and the other, but was it the right time for your team?
Yes.
No, it was not. It wasn't.
Because he's always been like this.
Because you said if John Morant didn't do what he did, Dylan Brooks is still doing his team.
But again,
which means Dylan Brooks needs to understand that
right
I don't need to act like this when we're going through this crap with John right now.
But then
we
again,
don't need another distraction.
But now you're telling me to change my nature because this wasn't Dylan Brooks all of a sudden this year.
But you gotta pull
No. I understand what you're saying, right? While John Morant may have been the reason why this happens, it is not in Dylan Brooks to say now, let me stop doing the thing that makes me my best competitive self. It just happened to be bad timing.
Well, then here's what I say to that always. Okay, there are things you can do to make yourself your most competitive self, but you need to be able to do that within yourself, like Michael Jordan did.
Well, he wasn't.
You shouldn't have to try to get in anybody else's head
Stop
to be your best.
Stop it right now. Michael Jordan did that.
Michael Jordan did it within himself.
No, Michael Jordan.
He decided I didn't like so and so because of what they
Michael
did.
Jordan went
He
onto
created the joint.
Michael Jordan went onto the court, talked to people, and intimidated them, and tried to get into their head. Actually, on court. Stop it right now. Stop this. Come on. Don't have your weird version of revisionist history.
All right, this is what I'm saying. This is what all I'm saying.
He motivated himself, and then he also went out there and antagonized other players as well.
Well, all I'm saying is he ain't Jordan, and he
well, nobody's Jordan.
Didn't do it.
Nobody's Jordan. So we're not comparing him to
That's all I'm
Jordan.
saying.
We would never compare him to Jordan. He's not Jordan.
What you just did by saying Jordan did what he did.
Well, you brought up Jordan first.
I did.
And then I
but what
retorted
I'm
and
saying
corrected
is, what I'm saying is Jordan's on another level.
Because you try to make it seem like Jordan didn't go out there and talk shit to players.
I mean, Larry Bird did too.
Okay, then.
At the end of the day, that's Bird. That's Jordan. They did it in a different way. In other words, Jordan would more so tell you what I'm going to do instead of what you can't do.
Jordan used to tell you, you're not going to score on me. Bird used to tell you what he's going to do.
Bird would tell you
Bird told you what he's going to do.
Right.
Jordan used to tell you what you're not going to do.
Okay, and guess what? That didn't always work because I saw a video just the other day of Rex Grossman. He was getting loose on Jordan. Dropped 39 on him. Sexy Rexy was feeling himself so much he started singing the Shawn Michaels theme song.
Yeah,
they call me sexy.
Listen, he's a sexy Rexy.
He was getting off.
He's an outlier. It doesn't happen more often that somebody goes off on him.
You keep doing that, Dylan Brooks, you're going to find a lot of outliers.
Well, understand, when you're that person, though, you're never going to shut anybody down. Like, I'm sorry, who's the last time Patrick Beverly shut somebody down? Now, granted, Patrick Beverly may be a bad example because Patrick Beverly is also on his 9th team. So I guess that's the scale. You're either Patrick Beverly or you're Draymond Green. So either you end up being on 9 different teams, or your team values you and what you're doing to the point where they're like, yeah, we need his intangibles. Right now, Dylan Brooks, they're not saying, listen, it's not even that they're not saying that they're saying that they don't need your intangibles, but also, just know, and I'm going to let you know, if it's one thing that soothes you a little bit, Dylan Brooks, you did nothing wrong.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying.
Wait a second, I'm talking to Dylan Brooks. All right, a second. I'm going to tell you this, Dylan Brooks, you did nothing wrong. You are catching shrapnel due to John Morant's poor behavior and poor decision making. And at the end of the season, like at the end of a lot of seasons, when they have to find somebody to make the scapegoat, you were the one with the last eye-raising comment. So you made the easy person to fire. Listen, let Memphis have this kind of debacle next year. You know what happens next year? That coach is fired.
Can I say something to Dylan Brooks?
Talk to me.
Dylan Brooks. Contact the Sacramento Kings. They could use a villain. Get with Harrison Barnes, a champion. Learn how to be a champion. Kick ass, take names, and then you can poke with it.
No, because you're telling them, calm down, be timid. Don't
I ain't saying be
don't
timid.
be a player.
I'm saying go to a team that could probably use a villain.
They got it.
That
They don't need him. They got Davion Mitchell. They have a person that can be that does everything that he does without all of the antics. Or without all of the interviews, with all of the permed hair, with all of the dancing. They got somebody for that.
All I'm saying is find a team.
Sacramento need it. But no, listen.
All right.
Now, to wrap up the Dylan Brooks topic, or the MyT topic of the day,
Who is
There's-
that? Who's
there's-
that? Was that?
there are suitors out there for Dylan Brooks. So if anybody thought like, yeah, Dylan Brooks just played himself out the league, no, you played yourself by thinking that. There is a place. There is a place in this league. There is a place in there is a place in the league for Dylan Brooks, and there's been rumors that there are suitors for him. But Dylan Brooks is going to find himself a home. As a Knicks fan, wouldn't mind Dylan Brooks. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dylan Brooks in the Heat uniform. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in a Clippers uniform. For what he does from an intensity level, you want that. What you don't want is for him to have a shy away from the moment. It's for him to have a shrink himself, because you saw what happened when he shrunk himself, and he shot it, and he shied away from the moment. You saw what happened those last. But that's part of heat coaching. That's all heat coaching. But that's the reason why I said it. That's the reason why I named these specific teams. Why you have to go to teams like Miami, teams like New York, teams like the Clippers that have a culture already developed, or a head coach that knows how to utilize you properly, and a head coach that will channel all of that energy that you have. But help you channel all of that energy. Will help you channel all of that energy that the Memphis Grizzlies right now are taking for granted. Because believe it or not, people like Dylan Brooks, just like people like John Morant, don't come on very often. Listen, if you ask any coach out there, you would rather have to try to tell a guy to wind it down a little bit than trying to have to find a way to rev up a guy. Dylan Brooks is a guy that's generally wound up. So you're never gonna have to find a problem getting effort from him. As long as you continue to motivate him to be himself. Like every other player in the NBA, you motivate them to be themselves so they get the best version of themselves. When you start telling players to be what they're not, you start losing them. And the reason why you drafted them, the reason why you gave them an extra contract, the reason why you extended them 1 year, right, any years, is because there was a reason why you wanted them. And that's exactly why you wanted them. And now Memphis, next year, I hope you guys do as well. Next year, Memphis, I hope you don't have energy issues. We understand John Morant, there's always going to be a level of energy around John Morant's high flying. What about the rest of the team? What about the others? What about 7 through 11? 6 through 10? Who's going to keep those guys motivated? Because if those guys energy level starts dropping, then we're going to start knowing who is the true emotional leader leading that team and what this team is missing. At any point in time, if I hear next year, oh, this team is missing some intensity, there you go. Because Dylan Brooks is his behavior, right, or his style of winning wasn't an issue until you went up against LeBron James. If that's when you're going to start judging and cutting people of how well they do against LeBron James, and that only, then half the people in the league need to be out the league. Let's move on, right? Because we got some happier thoughts to talk about.
Yeah. Like Knicks game.
We got some. We got much better energy to give out there. What we have for you guys is our first topic of the day, and our first topic of the day revolves around My beloved. My beloved.
So I was like, okay.
Okay, let's try that again. My beloved.
But that's why I'm not. I said, now I.
New York. New York Knicks. So let's get into our Knicks talk. Let's get directly into our Knicks talk. What's up?
Can you feel the heat down in your soul?
No, not even worried about it.
Can you feel the heat down in control?
I interrupted my talk. So it's time to get back to the orange and blue. Alright. Let's get into our Knicks talk. Whether it's the light or the dark, whether it's a win or a spark, we get into our Knicks talk. Whether we dealing with the haters or the laters, whether we dealing with the lukewarm heat, we get into our Knicks talk. Now the Knicks end up putting a pivotal game 2.
They had to. Because in game 1, Jimmy Bucket said,
I'm talking here. Jesus, stop interrupting me. I don't know why you think this is your show. I'm talking over here.
I respect my rival.
But let me keep on interrupting.
Good game, Knicks fans. Game 2, good game.
New York Knicks had a pivotal game 2. And they ended up winning. They ended up getting that pivotal game 2 on. Now, it was exactly how the series has been going exactly how we thought it was going to be so far. It's been a difficult series. Now, Knicks are going to win both games. Right. You should have asked me later in the segment. We'll get into that later. So, the New York
Knicks, like you said, these are your thoughts. Not reality, your thoughts. That's cool.
My reality was the Knicks was going to beat the Cavs in 5. And my reality came through then. Hey, we're going to take you guys in 5, 6 at best. But we'll take you in 5. So,
our reality was
the New York Knicks, they end up taking a pivotal game 2 away from the Miami Heat. And it was a game that they needed. They needed desperately almost.
Yeah.
By dropping game 1 in Miami, they put themselves in a almost must-win position where what I'm looking for specifically is my voice, not yours. Okay, quiet, let me talk. I will have a moment. I will open it back up to you fans and open it up to these lines up again. But let me talk. You're not helping me out. You're just trying to be an antagonistic Knicks They Heat fan.
Listen.
So as I'm going back, as I am saying,
I will never speak negatively about that.
oh, you can speak negative about them. Right now, it's just not the time. Right now, I'm just trying to get some points off, and you're making something take way longer than it needs to be because you keep interrupting. And you have to put you to the side until it's fan time. Go get a beer. Isn't it picture time? We'll get a picture time. By the time you get a picture, it'll be time for you to add your points onto the Heat.
Knicks are a great basketball team going up against my team. And you know what?
I haven't said any of that. I ain't said any of that.
They're great basketball.
I disagree with you. We're excellent basketball team. No, we're a good basketball team. We're still trying to find ourselves. Now, the New York Knicks end up getting game 2. Pivotal game 2 that they needed to get from the Miami Heat. After dropping game 1 in heart-wrenching fashion. Right? In heart-wrenching fashion. They end up dropping game 1. In a game where the New York Knicks didn't have Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson ended up being hobbled in the second half. And also Jimmy Butler was also hobbled in the second half as well. Miami Heat came away with that first victory, putting the Knicks in a position where they was going to have to get this dub. And get this dub they did. Julius Randle finally came back and he decided that he wanted to play. And let me actually start off with game 1. Actually, you know what? Let me start off with Julius Octavius Randle. All right. So even myself, even to myself, to all of the Knicks fans that think that the Knicks are better off without Julius Randle, while I can't say that you got a strong foundation to stand on, I can still understand what you're saying, because it's not just the minus of Julius Randle. It will be the minus of Julius Randle and adding somebody of equal or greater value, and that's how they look at it. But I will tell you this: the way these Knicks are currently constructed, this Knicks team has its best chance of winning with Julius Randle on the court along with Jalen Brunson. If one of these two guys are missing,
That's a lot of fucking light.
if one of these two guys are missing, then in these playoffs, it's not going to end up being well for you Knicks. In the regular season, you could probably get away with it. Actually, in the regular season, we did get away with it. In a 7-game series against well-coached competition, it's not going to fly. And we kind of saw that in Game 1, even though we held our own in Game 1. Right? Game 1 was a close game. New York Knicks didn't end up losing that game until the third quarter, where the Miami Heat busted that game open in the beginning of the third with those 3 leakouts from to Jimmy Butler from whatever his name is. Frankly. Oh man. From Kevin Love. Second game, all hands was on deck. For the New York Knicks, that is. All hands were on deck for the New York Knicks. Julius Randle played. Jalen Brunson, we heard right before the game was starting that he was iffy. This is actually, it wasn't until hours before the game that we even heard about Jalen Brunson, that even opened our eyes that he was beat up or he was injured at the end of that first game. Because until he was questionable for game 2, we had no idea. I couldn't think of one person that would have known that Jalen Brunson was beat up at the end of game 1. That he could barely move his hips, right? Or not his hips, but he could barely put pressure on his ankle. But luckily for us, Jalen Brunson muscled through it, swallowed the pain, played in game 2, and we ended up tying the series. Even without Jimmy Butler, this is a difficult game. But you see it on both ends. Without Julius Randle, it took everything that the Heat had, including a barrage of I don't want to call it trick plays, right? But a barrage of trick plays to open up the half, as it took the Knicks everything out of them to be able to beat the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler. Now, you will. I'll get that. Now, for both teams, at this point in time, it's a 5-game series. That's really what it is. It's a 5-game series. Miami Heat currently has home court advantage. So the New York Knicks right now, in the next couple of games, at worst, you're just trying to split. That's worst. That's the worst case scenario that's the worst case reality that you can live in. That's the worst case scenario that can happen, but that's the worst case scenario that you can live in, is splitting it in Miami. Splitting in Miami means that, okay, you come back to New York, and now it's a best of 3 series. I'm not here to deal in worst case scenarios. You guys heard me earlier. I am still pulling Knicks in 5. At worst 6. To be honest with you, I don't think the series goes past 6 in either direction, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna tell you why. Both of these teams have a lot of similar makeups from the coaching position, right? They're both children of Pat Riley, right? Disciples of the Pat Riley coaching tree. So they both have similar defensive beliefs. They have similar minutes beliefs. Because only Tom Thibodeau gets shrapnel for playing his team or playing his players minutes that they want to play. Jimmy Butler plays 46 minutes, nothing. Tom Thibodeau plays a player 46 minutes. And here goes Tom Thibodeau running a player into the ground again. But Anthony Davis plays every minute of the second half, nothing. Tom Thibodeau plays a player every minute of the second half. Oh, here goes Tom Thibodeau running a player into the ground again. So they both have these similar makeups where they're willing to play their star players or the hot hand and give them a bulk load of minutes. When I say a bulk load of minutes, we're talking about 40 plus minutes. We're talking about more minutes than you probably end up seeing in a regular season. We're talking about, like I said, we've seen in LA, we've seen in Miami, we've seen in New York. We're talking about not resting in the second half. We're talking about resting 2 minutes total for a game. That's what the playoffs is about. Now, part of the reason why I said this is probably going to end up being 6 Knicks fans, Heat fans. Once the coaching adjustment has been made to really figure out the other team, it's a wrap. And that's, I think, what we're waiting for. We're waiting to see who has truly perfected the counter punch here. Who is seeing all of the punches coming, right? Or who's going to eventually see all the punches coming and be able to counter every single one. And then you start looking like, yo, we can't stop this. So far, each team has had a major punch that's had to be adjusted. First game is Jalen Brunson, and you saw the second half adjustment made by the Miami Heat. Period for the Miami Heat still is Jimmy Butler, which they have not found an answer for. See, the answer for Jalen Brunson was to put Jimmy Butler on him. The answer for Jimmy Butler has been, let's hope he misses. That's not quite an answer. That's like playing Jordan. That's like playing Kobe. That's like playing Stephen Curry. We're gonna play as good as defense as we can and hope they miss. We have nobody we could put on them to really stop them. Based off Jalen Brunson's size, like Stephen Curry, you can put somebody on him to stop them or to aggressively annoy them. Like you see LeBron James going to Stephen Curry. You put Jimmy Butler on a Jalen Brunson. Now, in the second game, right, or even in the fourth quarter of that game, you saw the New York Knicks start to make their adjustments about Jimmy Butler. Right, work the pick and rolls, get him off of him. Start making him go under, work some double screens. Right, work off the ball. Run a couple of damn it, I forgot the play it's called. No. It's off ball. I mean, pick up power, but not. It's more coming off. There's more coming off ball. I forgot. This is specific this time. I forgot the specific name for the play. But working off ball and start coming off of various pin downs and working yourself off of off ball screens to free yourself up, and then get the ball and still work yourself off the screen. So you've seen both teams so far make adjustments to the adjustments. But so far it's been Knicks adjusting to the Miami Heat playing Jalen Brunson, and then I'm trying to find a way to get Jalen Brunson open. New York Knicks haven't found a way to answer Jimmy Butler. So now here goes the added wrinkle. Now insert Julius Randle. And now you have another piece that they have to that they have to start to game plan for. And this is why you want Julius Randle here, Knicks fans. Because without Julius Randle, the game plan is just stop Jalen Brunson. Blitz Jalen Brunson, double team Jalen Brunson, come over the pick and roll, pick him up full court, get him out of rhythm. With Julius Randle there, and Julius Randle in the Knicks system playing point forward a lot, or even learning how to play point forward to the point where if Jalen Brunson is now being isolated or is being the person they're taking out the game, now you got Julius Randle to have to worry about. And if either one of, and if both of them are going off at the same time, now you got RJ Barrett who's consistently going aggressive to the lane. So, Knicks fan, now you're gonna want, do you need and want Julius Randle to finish out this series and hope he has no more setbacks? But you got to start paying attention to the moves, to the counters, to the moves, to the counters, to the counters, to the counter moves. Because this game, this series, if you have not been paying attention, has officially became a game of chess. And checkmate comes in 5 moves. Let's just hope you're on the other side of that. Talk to me.
What I'm saying is, game 1, quite simple. New York Knicks, excellent ball movement, had the size mismatch, so they went inside and they were killing the Heat. Pat Riley was like, all right, we're going to crack the paint, see if they can play long ball with it. Woo! Then they put it on. And that's kind of what happened in game 1. That's when you ended up, you saw the adjustment, and that's when you saw the Knicks end up 5 for 28 from 3-point line. That ain't gonna get it done, boy. Not against the Heat. So now the second game, I didn't see all of it, but I did note that the Heat didn't have Jimmy. His presence, his ability to will some points into the basket, and I'm not gonna make excuses. Because you guys didn't have your man in game 1, we didn't have our man in game 2. Game 3 is going to be, like you said, truly a chess match, and we'll see what happens. But I will say this: I'm going to teach Robinson to make some damn free throws. All right,
it's too late for that.
He gonna get y'all hurt. All right.
Yeah, listen. So let's start with Robinson. Yeah, Robinson has that big man syndrome.
Oh yeah.
The big man can't, but also Robinson's an old school big man. Except he doesn't know how to play in the paint. So when I say old school, it's old school as far back as Tyson Chandler, maybe Marcus Camby a little bit. Like that old school.
Get back to the basket, but you gotta know how to.
None of these guys are back to the basket guys, right? And neither is he. He's a offensive rebound, defensive rebound, put back, alley-oop kind of guy. Right now, currently on pace to have the highest field goal percentage in league history. Like, he's one of those guys. What DeAndre Jordan was.
Okay.
Basically a walking bum as soon as you lose your athleticism. Right? So yeah, Robinson, he's just one of those guys that never gonna make free throws. Which I'm glad you mentioned, because it makes me worry. As I told you, this is officially a chess match. In this chess match, do not be surprised if a Hacker Robinson becomes part of the game plan in a close game, or in a game where the Knicks are up by, let's say, 10. It's a 2-minute game. It's a 3-minute game. And you're trying to close that lead. We're up by 15. You're trying to close that lead. All of a sudden, Mitchell Robinson's on the court. Hacker Robinson. So Knicks fans, don't be surprised about that. Oh, shit. I was almost giving myself an aneurysm. What the fuck? What's happening? Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Emotional damage.
A.J. Woods signs with the New York Jets. Randall Cobb signs with the New York Jets. Folks, that wide receiving core for the New York Jets, I know we're talking. I'm gonna have to write this down. I don't know if I'm gonna talk about this or next week.
Then he ended up, they had
This wide receiver. God damn it! I really fucking popped something in here. The fuck?
and I didn't think we'd go that high. You walked in though. I'm like, you ran out of the way. You're in.
Have you been so excited that you give yourself an instant headache? What the fuck just happened?
Nah, I've never been that excited.
Like literally, I felt like something. You know, like when you pop a knuckle.
Oh,
I feel like I popped a knuckle in my fucking temple a while ago. Is that normal?
that's not normal.
All right, well, if I don't make it to the end of the podcast, you guys know what happened. I popped a knuckle in my temple. I got excited seeing Randall Cobb join the Jets. That wide receiver core is nasty. Lazard, Gardner, Cobb, and I'm forgetting somebody else that we already have. We're 5 deep in the wide receiver set without even having. Robinson.
Allen Robinson?
Alan Lazard?
No, that's Allen Lazard.
Oh no, Allen Robinson, that guy. I know you're talking about. No, I don't think we got him. I don't think we got him. Listen, that's the running back, ain't it? Allen Robinson, the running back?
No,
No,
this was you.
from the Jacksonville Jaguars back in the day, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. I can't remember. But listen, one of the things that you do have to worry about. Actually, one thing I wanted to bring up that you talked about was the 3-point shooting. The 3-point shooting is gonna. Well, actually, let's talk about the 3-point shooting on both ends. You know, Knicks are bad 3-point shooters. Let's just put it that way. You guys didn't do much. Let me say this. I have to say you guys. The main thing, you guys didn't do much to affect our 3-point shooting. We're just a bad 3-point shooting team.
Exactly. We just packed the paint and said, beat us from the outside. You couldn't do it.
Like if you look at the Cleveland series, 27% against Cleveland as well.
Exactly.
This series, 29%. This is not why you could beat Cleveland playing that. You're not going to beat Miami with those low percentage. It's going to have to come up. So,
which is why it's going to go in 6 as you predicted.
So guys like,
fans why. I love when
so guys like,
real honest with your fans. I love it. This is what makes you such a great host.
So guys like Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, guys that all year have been hitting the 3-point shot and has been known to give us 3-point shots when it in key and pivotal moments. Those guys have to start stepping up because you know what I'm saying right now, and it's understandable. Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly is not ready for this light, and I don't think, and I can't remember if Emmanuel Quickly was there the first year we made it to the playoffs. If he was a rookie, no. Let me see. I think he was he was a rookie that year the first year we made it to the playoffs because RJ Barrett, it was his second year. So this is now 2 years of making it into the playoffs where Emmanuel Quickly hasn't looked right. Quentin Grimes ain't looking right. So these bench squad, these others, they're not looking good at home and they're not looking good on the road. They're not looking good in the playoffs, period, right now. RJ Barrett, he has stepped up. Happy he has stepped up. Because the third pick of the draft, you're going to need, you should be stepping up. Right? For somebody drafted that high, for somebody that has already gotten their extension money, right? At this point, you should be a reliable third option. And you have, and after your horrible game 2 in Cleveland, you have been consistent. I have no gripes with you. You have showed us, okay, these playoffs aren't too big for me. I just needed a foot up my ass. Those other guys, they either need a foot up their ass or they need to take whatever's up their ass out of it because they're playing stiff as fuck. Those guys are our 3-point shooters.
Well, not to you.
Emmanuel Quickly is basically our Jordan Poole. If you guys watch the Golden State Warriors game, you know what I mean by that Jordan Poole. But we're not going to get into Jordan Poole next. We're not going to talk about the Golden State Warriors. I want to talk about somebody else. I want to talk about somebody that got some hard. I want to talk about Joel Embiid.
Oh, baby!
some hardware.
Joel Embiid got himself some hardware. Joel Embiid has won the 2023, or 2022, 2023 Most Valuable Player Award. And his reaction was perfect. Right? It was. If you looked at his reaction, it was you can tell it was the culmination of all of these years of hard work, of trying to be MVP. I think it's about 4 years now. He's really gone after being the best player in the league. And falling short time after time after. Listen, there was a couple of years where you really there, but the last 3 years, the MVP race has been Jokic, Joel Embiid, Giannis. Center. Oh, he cried. He cried when he lost. That's why I said it was perfect. Because he cried
When he won the award?
he cried in his losses.
I know. I saw him crying in the award.
And when he won the award, they announced it on the television. You see him that they're in like in a banquet room, whatever. And they announced that he's won the award. And he puts his head down for a minute, and you see him absorb it, right? And
That's what
you don't see the tears,
That's what
but you know he's crying, right? Listen. I understand why he cried. That was heartbreaking, right? They really thought they had that. But like I said, these are the ups and downs of basketball, right? It's like what Giannis was trying to say, like no year is a failure, even though you can't have failure years, right? but I understand what he means in a bigger picture of it. That no year is a failure, because if you're truly great, even in the years that you fail, you learn from. And those years that you like, put it this way,
Like, this is not a failure year for the Knicks. Even when they lose this round, it's not a failure.
no, it won't be.
It won't be.
It won't be. This would have been listen, it won't be a failure. There's a couple of teams that if you don't win a championship, it's not a failure. Teams that make the playoffs: Miami Heat, New York Knicks. Who else made the playoffs? Sacramento Kings.
It's a failure for
Memphis.
Yes.
Not Memphis. No, not Memphis.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be a failure for Phoenix.
It's a failure for Memphis.
It's a failure for Denver.
Denver.
It's a failure. It's a failure for Milwaukee. And it's a failure for Boston.
It was.
If you're the top 2 team in your division or your conference,
I agree.
and you get knocked out in the first round,
I mean,
you failed. You failed. Now, depending on how you go out in the second round, may determine on how if your season is considered a failure. If you're one of the top 4 teams, right, in the league, period, 1-2, 1-2. For all of those other teams, you're kind of playing with house money, right? You're going through the building blocks of making yourself championship contenders, right, or a championship team, right? Even some of these teams, even some of these young teams, right? Like, this why I don't hold it against like Memphis yet, right? It's because Memphis to me is still too young, right? You can really see the soft spot on the top of their head still, right? Like they still got a high chair at the NBA table of winning, right?
Yeah.
Like that, they're still there. I don't bug didn't get in my beard.
I just told you.
All right, so for some of these guys, it's not failures, but Milwaukee was a failure. For Giannis, I can understand like that shot against that year against Kawhi Leonard. That's not a failure, but I can understand him taking it rough. I can understand him taking a lot of these years, but like I said, for the last 3-4 years, he has been a bona fide MVP candidate. I like to throw Julius Randle's name in there for 2 of the last 3 years, but while he may have gotten votes, right, or in contention, he was never a true candidate, right? Joel Embiid has been a true candidate to win MVP for the last 3 years. And
I'm glad you finally admitted that you couldn't in this season.
what's that?
That he wasn't a legitimate candidate. About a month ago, he was like, no.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing I said now.
Okay.
I said the same thing I said now because also you're hearing what I said last week.
Not last week. I'm saying a
couple weeks ago.
It's about a month ago.
But also you also have to hear what I was saying 2 years ago as well too.
Okay.
This is a conversation I started 2 years ago.
I was specifically counting on
No, but even a month ago, it's the same thing that I'm saying now. He was in contention to be MVP. But he was never a true candidate. And I never said he was a candidate, a true candidate. No. And this is the end of the season. When all the votes come in, he was, and through the whole entire season, his name was constantly in there as the MVP candidate. But was he a true contender for MVP? No. Because the true contenders for MVP are generally the guys that are generally in the top 3 for the majority of the season, right? Julius Randle was 6 and 7, right? Like for most of that season, but candidate, right? Or but not a true contender.
Correct.
And that's what I always say. Like, listen, if you're a candidate for MVP, you should still have respect put on your name when they talk about your team winning. And how this conversation started out 2 years ago was that when Julius Randle had the New York Knicks in a winning position and on pace to make the playoffs and had them 5 games above 500 and everything else, the fact that he wasn't talked about more often, right? Especially in the MVP talks, was wild to me. Because that was LeBron James that had brought the Knicks to where they were at 2 years ago. If that was Stephen Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, if it was the guy we just beat, Donovan Mitchell, they would have never shut up about them being an MVP candidate. You know what I mean? You still get drip trips. You know what I mean? So that's how that started. That's how that conversation started 2 years ago. Because my thing was that if it was any of these bigger name people that they take into their mouths on a daily basis on ESPN and Fox, right? And all these other major sports, sports. I heard something familiar. When the keys jingle, when you feel like when somebody's keys jingle a specific way, you're like, wait a minute, is so and so here? I feel like sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. Bree hasn't been in a while. Next time I see Bree, I'm gonna give her a big old hug. I'm gonna hit her up tomorrow. Actually, it's so funny you said. I was taking a mental note that I need to hit her up tomorrow just to see how she was doing. I don't want to just talk to Bree when she's at the podcast. Because I know the last time I spoke to her, she was like, listen, it's just like, you know how it is, life. Like you roller coaster through life. So you go through periods where your funds and your time allows you to be more outgoing. And then there's times in your life where your funds and your time doesn't allow you to be as outgoing as you would like to be. And we all go through it. Like, don't feel ashamed if you go through it. Like don't try to keep up the Joneses by going out when you can't go out. Like, no, understand your lane, stay in your lane, and stay the fuck home. Save your money, stack your paper, and then go out for 3 months straight. And then go back and sit in the house for 3 months. So Joel Embiid gets the MVP. His reaction was perfect. Because again, his reaction you can see is the culmination of all of the years of hard work, all of the years of failure, all of the years of thinking I was the MVP and not making it. Part of me, though, cannot resist the point of thinking that Joel Embiid win MVP just because people could not fathom having Nikolai Jokic be the first and only ever three-time MVP, back to back to back. Because you know voters are weird like that.
Yeah.
Like, you can deserve it, but they're thinking like, damn, 3 times MVP? You know, they start saying, Jordan was never a 3-time MVP back to back to back to back. You know, Kobe wasn't a, you know what I mean? Like, they start saying weird shit like that. Like, as if that matters to what he's doing now. Is Jordan in the league right now? Is Kareem in the league right now? Is Bird in the league right now? Is Magic in the league right now? Is Shaq in the league right now? No. But you know who is in the league right now? Putting up ridiculous numbers, real numbers, imaginary numbers, advanced numbers. Numbers.
Where's your team at?
Number 1 in the West.
Oh, you talking about that guy?
Jokic. Yes.
Okay.
Number team in the West.
Okay, I thought you talking about the other guy on Dallas.
No. I'm forgetting his name right now because he's available for this one. Which is weird. I normally never forget his name. What's going on, Benjamin? Are you still around here? You still around here? Understood. You have a light up on you? You have a light up on you? This one? I don't know. I flicked it. Or it fell upside down. Then I flicked it. And then it started breakdancing. Like it really was spinning on his legs. Oh, on his back. So listen, let's give a big up to Joel Embiid, right?
Respect, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Good. I just intimidating a little. Trust me, every time you go, your shit be solid. Never one time.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. So,
They ain't showing the second game?
Yeah, Kevin.
is it halftime already?
No, I don't know if they saw the second game.
Yeah, 10 o'clock game. It's not the same TNT? Oh, nah, maybe you play on ESPN.
Right.
No, this is ESP.
So who's playing that game?
ESPN would have the sticker
Hold
on
on.
the bottom.
Let's check right here. Let's see the schedule for today.
They got a game at 10. One start at 8.
It was a little higher. He would have
You sure we got 2 games today?
Mm-hmm. So,
Damn.
so,
Boston waxed that ass all on the floor.
wax that ass.
They waxed that ass. Give me some more. They waxed that ass.
They're gonna play tonight, right?
Yeah, man. They got 2 games. Now them dudes play last night.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Let's pop the schedule for today. Let's see where we at. There it goes. Wednesday the 3rd. 1 game. 1 game today. One game today. 1 game tomorrow. LA and Golden State. Friday has Boston, Boston and Denver.
I seen 2 games.
With 2 games every day after Thursday. Listen, even I'm surprised this is over with already.
Yeah, man. Again.
Just hold that picture.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. This is smiling.
It ain't pink in the middle. I can't.
Not all melons are pink in the middle. Listen. Sometimes you crack open that melon before you eat it, and it's green in the middle. You know what I mean? Yeah, you never eat a green melon, that you put your whole nose in it. Listen, don't put your nose in no green melons. Okay. Listen,
You're
no, it's right here.
You're
I got it
right.
right
You're
here.
right.
No,
Tomorrow
I got you.
9 p.m.
Look at the screen. I got you. It's right here.
See my phone tripping.
Yeah, one game today. Philly and Boston. Boston just won that game 121-87 to go ahead and tie up that series 1-1 after they dropped game 1 to Philly. To a Joel. As we talk about Joel Embiid, they dropped game 1 to Philly without Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was sitting in some lobby watching TV, found out he won MVP. Then his team went out there and bust your ass. You knew Boston, his team was gonna come out there motivated. You should have came out there with this game yesterday. That probably could have been it too. But that's an ass whooping. 121-87. You almost got 40. You almost got 40. Nah, Shamika and Guma there. I didn't even notice him in that video. All I notice is me. And listen, I have a lot of respect for Jimmy Butler. Right? If he would have started off a Heat player, I probably wouldn't have any respect for him. And if he wasn't the son of my head coach, I probably definitely wouldn't have any respect for him. Tom Thibodeau. Whatever. You know Jimmy Butler's parents are white. Stop it right now.
He's a doctor.
You know his parents are white. Exactly. You know his parents are white.
You know Michael Jordan was in town the weekend he was born.
That's the weekend.
And I already did a research on that.
That's the weekend he was
conceived.
That's the weekend he was born.
Weekend he was conceived.
He wasn't there 9 months before.
Yeah, he was there the weekend he was conceived.
He wasn't there 9 months before.
He was there the weekend he was conceived. He was here in Houston playing again. That's what everybody said.
Listen, you know who's really Michael Jordan's son? Anthony Edwards. Like you look at those two, and those two guys have some major similar qualities going on in this area right here. But so you see him get his MVP. The whole entire team, you see them start to embrace it. Not even embrace it. They break out into cheer. You know, they start yelling MVP, MVP. Now they're yelling MVP probably for like a good minute or so before they realize that he has not picked his head back up yet. His head is still down, just like. And you know what's crazy? As many times as we've seen Joel Embiid cry, why are you hiding it now? Like, we ain't seen you crying for the last 5 years. We spent the last half decade watching you boo-hoo on camera. Now when you actually win the award, you want to hide those big-ass duck tears? Nah, man, let them shits fly from here to Africa, B. Like, don't hide them shits now. This is when they want to see those tears. This is the television moment we've been waiting for. You understand? They purposely did not give you the MVP for 3 years just so they could get this tearful moment from you today or the last 48 hours. And you robbed us of it. You selfish bastard. We love you, though. You seen the beard? I forget the beard's name sometimes. Yeah. He want to call him Josh Harden, but that's Josh Hart. You seen James Harden go up to him and embrace him, give him a hug, right? Say some meaningful words in his ear, kiss him on the cheek, suck on his neck. You know, things that teammates do. Things that teammates do. Things that teammates do, right? But more importantly, right? We understand that he wins the MVP, but as you heard me mention this, his team went out afterwards and got the dub, and that's the most important thing. Is that you play, you ball, and your team goes out, and they play with they play with a motivation and a level that not only makes you proud, but also makes your coach proud, and makes you proud to be part of this team. I still don't know how far the 76ers get, to be honest with you. Like one time? Yeah, I'm not sure if they get past Boston either. And if they get past Boston, I don't see them getting past the Knicks or the Heat. Like I said, and I'll say this again until everybody understands it. The winner, let me just say this so that people can fully understand. Because I think I've been beating around the bush. Where I've been saying, if the winner of the Knicks Heat believe that they are going to make it to the NBA championship, I won't hold it against them. Let me put this in not so many complicated words. Whoever wins from the Knicks Heat series making it to the NBA championship. There you go. There you go. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Now, listen to me. And I'm going to warn you now. If the Knicks lose to the Heat, and the next series, you hear me hating on the Heat, talking about they can't beat them, just revert to back what I said today. Today is my true thoughts. Next week, I may be emotional. So just remember, I may be caught up in the moment. Somebody may say something to me that rubs me the wrong way, and I just have to my rebuttal may just have to be by going against the Heat at that point in time. But just fall back to today to me saying that whoever from this Knicks and Heat series wins, they are making it to the NBA championship. That's how I feel. So now we have this series tied 1-1. The next time Philly and Boston is going to play is on Friday. Boston and Philly play their game 3 before the Knicks and the Heat play their game 3. Boston and Philly just played tonight. They just played tonight. And they will play their game 3 before Boston and Philly. That goes to show you who has the television rights. You know what I mean by who has the television rights. That goes to show you who's pulling the ratings. Right? Because we got Knicks, Heat on Saturday, and then guess who else follows us again right after that? Warriors, Lakers. They want you tuned in Saturday from 3:30 p.m. all the way till midnight. They want you like this, tight, like a booty hole, together forever. I keep wanting to drink my beer, but I keep it as a fly in here. Yeah. There's a bucket over there I need to go get so I can pour this out. Do that too, but I gotta step away either way. So, as we talk about who's stealing the ratings, right? Or who's getting the ratings? Who's stealing the ratings? Getting the ratings? Is that Williams?
Tyson Daly.
Oh, Grant. No, someone I was thinking about. That wasn't Grant Long I was thinking about. That light skin movie.
Tyson Daly.
Was it? Oh.
He changed his name. He changed his name for Brian Williams to Tyson
Okay,
Daly.
so he was Williams.
Right.
Okay. I was like, damn. I could have sworn he was a woman. Like, damn, I remember
You know
really
where he
dope.
is now?
That?
Nobody knows.
Oh.
Just been missing off the boat. Ain't been seen since. Right soon, you
So maybe this is part of what they took. Is this halftime?
No games on.
Oh, that's right. We determined there's no other games on already. I'm like, yo, is this halftime of Denver? Okay.
Oh, that's last week.
Yeah, don't have any glass, please. Some bugs decided to join me for a drink. Thank you. I was going to talk about another team, but I'm going to talk about this team first. This matchup first. And you know what? I'll even give you the next 3 minutes on this. How do you feel about this Phoenix and Denver series?
Yeah. Your boy should have kept his damn mouth shut. Your boy, Devin Booker.
Oh, okay.
Talking cash jump. Talking all about, well, since Kyrie Jenner didn't want this ring, I'm going to get it from the man CP3. Devin. You're a great basketball player, but don't talk all that trash until you win something, baby. Be humble right now, okay? Phoenix is supposed to be a hot basketball team, and you get the burn. You got KD there. You got CP3 there. You got DeAndre Ayton. Utilize your resources, bring home the win, but do it by playing great basketball and being humble. Trash talking doesn't suit you, my brother. You weren't there yet. You're not that dude yet. And when you get there, only then can you do
Who can talk shit then to you in the NBA? Who's allowed to talk shit?
win a ring before you start talking all that, man.
Ah,
I
because
mean, one-on-one, it's okay to talk a little bit of junk. Okay? Jimmy Jimmy talks mess, but Jimmy be dropping 50. And I know that Devin Booker be doing that, but you know, you doing all this talking, you ain't playing. You ain't living up to the hype, my brother, right now.
I feel like you're too old school with the shit talking tape.
Okay?
Oh.
Charles Barkley never won a ring, but Charles is about to talk shit.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Because Charles will bust your ass. All the time. Anytime.
I mean, I thought Devin Booker. I mean, listen, I don't appreciate talk shit. Now, you know what, though? That was corny to me, what Devin Booker said. Like, I can understand Ja Morant, right? At the time that when he made that statement, his team was flying high. They were hot. They were the number one team in the West. I think when Devin Booker made his comment is after they got Kevin Durant. Right? So his was kind of front running, one. And based off the fact that you had to go out your way and say, well, Kylie Jenner didn't want this ring, you know, so I guess I'm going to have to give it to CP3. I mean, she looked like a cornball because you're like the 18th person that wanted to give Kylie Jenner a ring, but can't give her a ring because she was originally ugly.
Not that she was ugly. She's a billionaire. You ain't matching up to her.
And also, she just fucks people and let them go. Like, you guys are nothing to her, but...
Because she's a billionaire and you ain't worth her time.
Now, so he's a cornball by putting his bitches up like that. Like, yo, yeah, she dumped me. She didn't want this ring. So now, this statement now gets tied to her, right? And her viewers and her clicks, all because that she wasn't feeling you. Like now Ice Spice gotta come in there. So you thought I was feeling you? So now you gotta dedicate a ring to CP3?
My thing is
CP3. He's dedicated rings to CP. Listen, man. CP3 is no worse than Kylie Jenner. He don't have a ring by now because he is a victim of his own circumstance. He did it to his goddamn self like she has done it to herself. Like, he don't got a ring for the same reason she don't got a ring. Don't nobody really want to get that motherfucker a ring. You the only dumbass motherfucker that wanted to get that bitch a ring.
she's a billionaire. It's different. Kylie is like this. Either make me money, kiss my ass and help me make money.
Either make me money or make me a sex tape. It's a family business. Money and sex
get
tapes.
Get the hell out the way. That's her whole thing. The old lead, follow, get out of the way.
We 2 hours in yet?
Yeah.
No, we're not quite. We're an hour and a half. Okay.
Oh, you didn't start till 9?
Yeah, I didn't start till 9:37.
Wow.
Because this is moving for me. I moved, so I'm no longer 10 minutes away. I now live in Boynton, and this is the move week. So I've been everywhere.
It's cheaper up there?
Not even much, but rent wise, not really. House buying wise, yes. And my post office job is up that way. My station is up that way, and I was looking to buy a house up that way as well. So.
My buddy used to live up there. Her girl, she used to live around about half hour away. Now she lives in Coral Springs over here.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll be down here pretty freaking often. I'm just gonna be gravitating to here for a while until I probably establish a whole new set. So probably say for the next 3 years, I'll be down this way pretty often. And then they'll start slowly phasing its way out, and then I'll just be up there. And by the time I get comfortable up there, I'll probably be closer to Orlando. I'll probably be in Riviera Beach by then. So, Denver, Phoenix. I don't believe it. Let me start off again by mentioning I do not believe in Phoenix. Devin Booker's end up being like this shit to his own, nigga. How you doing?
All right.
Still the number one chef here. He's not even here no more.
Whoa. My God.
The fuck? I can't keep up with you no more.
Hey, why you that Virgo's fire?
I fucking hate you. Oh shit.
So you got 2 jobs.
Something like that.
So self-respect.
So are they doing the different shit you gonna send me? That's this Sunday.
Oh, no, this first Sunday. Oh shit. Oh man, that's hilarious. so, okay, so Phoenix Denver. One, I don't believe in Phoenix. I don't know why. Maybe it's Kevin Durant. Maybe it's Chris Paul. Maybe it's all of them. But part of the reason why I didn't believe in Phoenix, it's phase one has already happened. Chris Paul has penciled in his scheduled injury for the playoffs. Game goes out, like comes down for a little rebound. He starts tugging on his right nut, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I think I busted one." Now groin injury, and for Chris Paul, I understand the sad story, right, of the injuries, but to me, it goes beyond a sad story of injuries because I always feel like Chris Paul is always part of a team that is this close to winning a championship.
How many?
Sure.
Okay.
How many? What's up, Trevor?
Lemon pepper. Got it. Like blackening seasoning.
No, the Jesus, that's the way to
Okay, sure.
I was suspecting her to ask you how many after you said the shit. We get a dozen. He should show shrimp like that. Oh, right? She had a nice little ass, don't she? I just thought about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, respectfully, you can't. But this is the first time hearing about it. Now that's a fact. I was like no, because the first time I seen her from behind the bar was today. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of nice. I didn't even think about it. I'm mad you told me that was your friend's, your son's friend's girl because now I consciously know that she may be dating somebody that I kind of may know indirectly, and now I just can't just frivolously hit on her and just be like, yo,
So
like,
this
fuck all that.
Sunday, I gave the ladies a little girl. I came up here by my lady, sweatshirts.
Oh shit! You did all that?
It's gonna return the favor.
Danger zone. Listen, the only time you catch me here in leggings or tights is on Halloween. Maybe even Christmas if I dress like an elf.
They come up, I think you get my costume issues, but we put that Spider-Man.
Oh, for Halloween?
Yeah.
I got my Halloween costume for this year. I gotta finish it. That's because I didn't do it last year. I kind of forgot what I wanted to be this year. Actually, no, I do know what I wanted to be this year. It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be amazing.
I was gonna do Spider-Man next to yours. You see Spider-Man.
Oh,
With my fedora. Suggest you.
they must be doing like a special on him right now.
Well, they're doing a Richard Shameless.
Oh, lifestyles of with the chick shameless. Some died with the name, some died nameless.
Isn't it funny when they look up famous?
So, what was I at? Denver Phoenix. I think the series is probably only going to see. I'm gonna tell you this. I have, and it's a flaw, right? We just talking. I find most sports talking heads, analysts, whatever they are, right? All the talking heads of sports to be cowards because they want to say 5, they want to say 4, but instead of saying 4, they say 5. Instead of saying 5, they say 6. Instead of saying 6, they say 7. They always give themselves that 1 game buffer. Just kind of cover themselves. But honestly, not me. Thought Cavs in 5. Right? I was gonna kill the Cavs in 5. I think we're gonna beat the Heat in 5. Right? If the Heat beat us, it's gonna be Heat in 6. I think Denver is gonna beat Phoenix in 5. I think they're gonna beat them. I honestly think it's gonna be a sweep. But I honestly believe that Kevin Durant will get them 1 game. And that will be it. And Denver's gonna get the rest. Now I'm gonna let you know this. I am nervous about that one game. It's one of the reasons why I think it's going to be a sweep. I am nervous about that one game. So I feel like when Kevin Durant has that one game and they go off and they win, it's a wrap. That team realizes we're going to give Kevin Durant 50 shots every game and never win over him. So that one win that Phoenix is gonna get makes me nervous because they could make a run to finish off the series. But I still don't think they win. I do not believe that Denver wins more than one game. Now, I do believe the Heat win at least 2 games. But I'm still calling Knicks in 5.
I believe he went 2 times 2.
Listen, you better believe that he goes win at least 2 games. Because you know what it is? Everything is scared. One, you're scared, and I think they're trying to be respectful. And I'm not here to be either.
Giannis is the best player in the world. And you gave him 1 game.
But you know what, though? Let me ask you this. When this series started, how did you feel about playing Milwaukee?
You know, when they played the first game and they won, I was
No.
You said before it started.
Before this series started, we saw you was matched up against Milwaukee. How did you feel about
I
this?
felt like the Heat could take 1, maybe 2. But then, once I saw the way Giannis pulled up in game 1, and then he came back in game 2, and then they played better without him, and he came back, and they lost again. I was like, this is good.
I never had a shadow of a doubt that the Heat were going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. I've seen the Heat beat the Bucks too many times in the playoffs.
I done beat them before too, but then I also saw the Bucks beat us too. So it was kind of up in the air. But, you know, Jimmy Butler said something. So you going home.
Jimmy Butler said, fuck it. So, like, I had no shadow, I had no doubt that Miami was going to beat Milwaukee. I just had that feeling. Milwaukee does not match up well against Miami. And they never have, especially in the playoffs. In this Jimmy Butler era, they have not matched up well against them. Like, now, granted, Milwaukee. So I'm gonna take. So I wanted to check, and I forgot to check this out. I said this Monday. If I'm not mistaken, the year that Milwaukee wins their championship, they had to go through Miami. The year that Miami went to the NBA Finals, they had to go through Milwaukee. Every year, that food is coming out quick today. Shit. So, for the reason why I go back to saying, after this series, the Miami Heat feel like, yo, it's championship for us now. You know what I mean? And granted, it's one more series to win. Like, it shouldn't be like, okay, we got here, now it's just, which I know Knicks fans, there's going to be a set of Knicks fans or Heat fans going to say this. We're just playing with house money now, and now it's house money. Like, no, it ain't house money. NBA championship is right there. No more house money. Now I got expectations. You've lived up to something. You showed me something. Ain't no more house money. I want to hear, yo, we right here, baby. We knocking on the door. All right, I'm going to keep knocking some more.
You coming.
Now, for the Miami Heat, as I told you that there's levels to this, right? And I mentioned with the Grizzlies, it's a process. Miami Heat been going through this process. They went through this process. Made it to the championship, didn't make it back, right? Next year they made it to the championship one year. Next year they get swept. Right now they're back on a path. They at least got out the first round. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a process. Knicks last year, right, or the last 3 years, made it to the playoffs one year. Next year they don't make the playoffs. Next year they make the playoffs. Now for them it's not, their growth process isn't the championship level because they haven't felt that level yet. It's to understanding what it takes to make and compete in the playoffs. Listen, they got neophytes. They don't got a Jimmy. They don't got a 33-year-old vet. Well, they do. They got Derrick Rose. But Derrick Rose isn't impactful to the game anymore. And Derrick Rose is one of those players. He's not like Udonis Haslem, where Udonis Haslem is willing to be vocal regardless of how many minutes he's playing on the court. Derrick Rose is one of those guys where he feels some type of way being vocal if he's not on the court. If he's not one of those guys getting minutes. Like it's weird for him. You know what I mean? Like he didn't like it when he was a young in the league. And I guess it's not something that he does because it just doesn't sit. It just doesn't sit well with him. And granted, neither way is right. You prefer that a guy like Derrick Rose can help offer his experience level and all, but if he's a guy like, yeah, I'm not playing, I can't really offer anything, I'm sitting here and keep my mouth shut and just try to be supportive, you know what I mean? Cool. He becomes a cheerleader versus an authority figure.
As Udonis said, the 12th man on the roster doesn't play anyway. So why am I going to sit back and do nothing? I might as well offer my experience. I ain't getting no playing time.
Yeah, for real.
You got something to do.
And listen, and I it's the right thing to do. Like I said, I can't say either way. Listen, because the New York Knicks have a guy of Jimmy Butler's experience. Just that Derrick Rose isn't going to be as vocal as Jimmy Butler would be if he was just sitting on the bench for a year. He's not as vocal as Udonis Haslem is for the Miami Heat's bench. Now, granted, maybe he, like I said, I just know he's not super vocal. Okay, let me retract my statement. He's not as animated, right? Because I don't know. I've heard him say that he doesn't like to be the uberly vocal guy, but it doesn't mean that he's not offering his experience. With Jimmy Butler and Udonis Haslem, they're animated with it, so you see it. Derrick Rose, you just may not see it because he's not overly animated. But I only can call it how I see it. For right now, even though I know that he's not that kind of vocal guy, I only can call it how I see it. And I don't know how much, and I truly don't know how much he's adding vocally, experience-wise, to those young guys, because Emmanuel quickly could use a vet right now. Quentin Grimes can use a vet right now. They can use somebody to calm them down, talk in their ear, and get them back into this game. And I don't know if they're, and while they may be able to call Derrick Rose, you know what I mean, afterwards, like after the game, I don't know if they're getting, and that's cool, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you need that in-game vocal person too. Like it's always good to have Derrick Rose to go back to, but I kind of need you. Sometimes I need you in-game to check. I need you in-game to be like, hey, you're swerving right. Get back in the middle. Come back left. Come back into your lane. Hey, you're swerving left. Come back into your lane. You like if you ever had to reverse a big truck, you know what I mean, right? You understand? Help me back this big truck up because I'm not used to having this big of a truck with me. I'm not used to all this extra weight. I'm not used to all this bed, all this extra cabin. Help me. While you're giving me pointers afterwards, I can really probably use some of those pointers on court. So Derrick Rose is kind of iffy. And I know I'm gonna jump back to Phoenix and Denver. For the last couple of years, I feel like Denver has been a proper team that if Jamal Murray wasn't hurt, they would have went further in. Right? Starting from the bubble. Jamal Murray's coming back this year. But not just Jamal Murray, all of those guys. The Denver Nuggets, they have invested in the most broken people over the last 5 years of any other team. Maybe Philly. Right? But all these guys are now healthy, right? All these guys are now contributing, and you're seeing what the vision kind of was, like also bringing in all of these highly talented guys that had early career injury issues. Not injury issues, early career injury issues from the moment you drafted them from college. Like what's the guy's name with his back? The light skinned guy.
Gordon?
No, that's the high flyer that they brought in. He wasn't drafted by them. The other guy. He has 3 names, I think. But he came with his back was fucked up
So
when he came into the league, and now he's contributing this year. Aaron Gordon, he had fucked up his knees a couple years ago, but he didn't still. I think he was still from Orlando, right? Yeah. So he's not the guy I'm thinking of. I'm thinking about guys they had drafted, but even Aaron Gordon, that's an investment into an injury-prone guy. That you're lucky that he's healthy this year, and you're able to take advantage of his LeBron-like athletic talents for his size.
Careful driving home.
It's the only LeBron comparison I'm saying about him. Athletic talent. Calm. I know you bronze sexuals. Calm down. I can hear your brussy ruffling.
I'm an Aaron Gordon fan. I'm pissed at you.
Why?
Ron can't dunk like me.
Well, we don't know because he never.
All right.
Yo,
Eric took his loss, then won.
I'm not gonna lie. I really hate the stain that look like. I understand LeBron James is a great player. I really hate the stain he has left on the NBA.
Yeah.
And there's two major statements. The running to try to find and granted, this only matters to the guys of the upper echelon. We don't care about Aaron Gordon moving teams 20 times. We don't care about Patrick Beverly. We're talking about the guys that affect winning. We're talking about the MVPs of the league. Right? LeBron James going out and teaming up with another MVPs just to win a championship, and what he has started from that, I absolutely hate. Now, granted, it's starting to shift back a little bit.
Would you have hated him if Barkley would have been successful?
Who?
If Barkley would have been successful, would you still hate him?
If Barkley would have been, again, there was a way that these things were done.
But Barkley still went to Houston, went to Phoenix, couldn't win the championship.
What MVP did he join?
Elijah won. Technically not a
In
MVP,
Phoenix?
but a star
In
player.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
In Phoenix.
No, Houston.
Oh. He was at the end of his career.
And then
So remember,
and in Phoenix it was Kevin Johnson.
so one, he never joined another MVP. In the
Not
prime,
another
one,
MVP, but another good player.
nobody has ever joined another MVP while left their team to go join another MVP, another scoring title person, another championship contending
Okay, but
person
what MVP
in-
did he join
in-
in Miami?
in the prime of his career. He joined Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade was a league MVP, but you mean just a superstar.
Dwayne Wade was an MVP and a scoring title and a scoring title winner at that point in time.
Who was he league MVP?
He was an MVP already.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was a champion. He was a champion.
And who's
MVP. Actually, wasn't he the finals MVP?
He was.
Okay.
That when they beat
So, champion, MVP, finals MVP, and scoring leader.
when they beat Dallas.
That's when LeBron James joined. And the fact that guys are now comfortable doing this in their prime. Remember, when guys did this back in the day, they did this when they were in their last legs. When they were like, yo, I tried doing this for 12 years. Let me see if me and this other old fucker could possibly do it. Well, let me go hop on and see if I can add something to one of these young boys and see if I can help take them over the top. So, that I never liked. And this other stain of your star players, again, your star players, duck in the dunk contest. That shit is basura to me. Like, that is so.
Yes.
For those of our linguistically challenged listeners, he said trash.
Did I say trash?
It's Spanish. That's it.
Oh. That's what I mean. Did I say it was trash? I did. But no, it is so disappointing to me, right? It's so upsetting to me. It's a soft move to me. Because, do you understand? There are dunks. Let's put it this way. If John Morant was in this dunk contest where McClung, whatever his name is, was just in.
Right.
McClung doesn't win. Just because the John Morant name is attached to the same basic dunk that McClung beat for other people.
Well, the dunks that McClung did were not basic.
No. I know this. So what I'm kind of alluding to is that a lot of these guys are scared to lose. Right? So they don't want the L on their name.
Right.
Which, who cares? You know what? Sean Kemp never won a slam dunk contest. You know what I love him for the fact of? He went there 3 times and lost. Sean Kemp.
Wow. Because he's the best in-game dunker there in the world.
Yeah. So am I mad at him for that? Like no. Like you lost.
Him and Vince Carter are like 1A and 1B.
You know. Like there's some guys that lost some slam dunk contests. Eric Gordon. Right? There's some guys that lost some slam dunk contests.
Won one, but
That you look at and you're like, that you know what? You remember them just for their slam dunk contest, and it's okay that you may have lost it as a star player, because as a star player, you're a star player. You're not the best dunker in the world. You understand this, but you can beat some of these best dunkers in the world just by you doing a good dunk, while a lesser named guy does a great dunk, but all the hype is around you. Like the way that John Morant dunks, right? With his level of ferociousness and his explosiveness, he's going to get a pop from the crowd and from the judges just because now it's officially John Morant. McClung literally had to walk on air. John Morant could have just made an explosive dunk.
Let me say this.
Talk to me. You can kick it.
Um,
The proper terminology is can I kick it?
yes, it can. But anyways, my thing is, Spud Webb, what a dumb shit. Spud Webb
Yeah.
having to go up and get the ball because he couldn't throw it down. He had to go get it.
Which is why I don't like a lot of. Which is why I don't like bounce passes in the dunk contest for guys over 6 feet.
Right.
Because for most guys, I can understand, right? Especially for like 6'5", 6'7", 6'4". If you're 6'4" and over, there's no excuse for it. Because that bounce, I automatically, and it comes from my brain, fucked up.
No, because you don't catch it on the way up.
Yeah, I automatically tie it into guys that really can't dunk or they have no control of the ball.
Spud had to go get it and catch it on the way down.
And then keep going up. Woo. So, and then listen, my favorite dunker of all time in the slam dunk contest is also a small guy. And
Dave Robinson.
he's the guy that's won most slam dunk contests than any other player in NBA history.
Who's that? Dave Robinson.
And he's also a former New York Knick.
Dave Robinson.
Nasty Nate Robinson.
Kryptonite.
When he put on the green Knicks uniform
Oh, yeah. That was great.
to dunk over Dwight Howard, which, listen, not for nothing, they don't have it anymore. But for a good 6 years, opened up sales for the green Knicks uniform.
Yeah.
That was only relevant for St. Patrick's Day.
Kryptonite.
Even better. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna take a break.
All right.
I'm gonna take a small break. When we return to the show, we're gonna talk about the team that stole the show, or just lived up to their name by being the show. That and more coming up next
You want to talk about Heat?
on on the MyT Sports Podcast.
They didn't join this team to win championships
Get a heat.
or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are
I know. I changed it up. I had to change it up a little bit.
engineers,
NBA player.
technologists, and
Here's the good
combat
help.
troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One respond. I became a soldier.
Oh shit, we're back, aren't we? Oh, you know what? I am so forgetful because I forgot that the reason that commercial comes in when it comes in is because I needed to change the channel on Podbean so that the people that listen on Podbean that they can get the new feed for them to listen to. So don't you guys worry. When this ends, this is a new one available for you guys. Everybody else was supposed to hear that commercial while I worked on that. But during that commercial, I decided to sit back and relax for 45 seconds. Pardon me for being forgetful and relaxing. I ain't gonna lie, when I'm done here, I want to go to the beach. We're around this full moon-ish time. Like I was coming out for the podcast today, and I noticed. I was like, oh shit, we're in the full moon time, and I looked up. It was sitting right there at like 7 o'clock. It was like still bright outside, but you can still see the moon. And I was like, oh damn, we kind of got a full moon. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to go move into a new place. I need to go hit up the beach and go ahead and set some new intentions. Get some of that salt water to wash over my feet and wash out. What's that?
You moved near the beach?
No.
Oh.
Well, kind of, sort of. No more different than it is right now. I was gonna go to the beach when I get done with it. I was trying to see if somebody wanted to join me to go to the beach, but
I'm here with my boss, man.
actually, the boss can get it.
She's a congresswoman, dude.
Okay, she can still get it on the low.
She's perpetuous and punctilious.
Don't tell me about it.
Okay?
Don't make it 16 though.
No, you didn't. Shit out of you. Damn. I'm talking about my boss right now?
It's your boss. Listen, I'm pretty sure you thought your boss can get it too.
No, I don't think that way. Because I like my damn job. Okay?
So it's only at the bar when you think in terms of somebody can get it.
This is my boss.
Oh, I forgot. You know what? My bad. I forgot that these calls are recorded for quality and training purposes.
You damn right.
You're right.
We get that shit.
You're right. That is your boss. You can't be thinking like that.
Ever.
That's funny.
These pods are recorded for quality and training purposes.
There you go.
I forgot we had that disclaimer in there. But if she wasn't a boss, I mean, she is a boss. Yeah, because you can see them. Dude, the shirt, like she's like a chick from the AT&T commercial. Like she's hiding a full set underneath there. Like, goddamn, it's about a pair of races. No, you're okay. Sorry, my sister. You're sexy. Listen, if for some odd reason you happen to listen to this podcast and come across this section, you happen to be a beautiful, sexy black woman, and I'm talking about the kind of chocolate that you want to melt in your mouth and not in your hands. So I am just complimenting not only your professionalism, but your natural ebonyism as it glows through a basic picture, and it brightens up even the darkest of nights. Is that better?
That's better.
have me going Shakespearean out here. You know what I mean? Which really, in 2003, what I'm trying to say is, can you sit on my face? I gotta clap your cheeks. I gotta be professional. Nah, dude. You gotta be professional.
I'm always professional.
Oh man, don't tell my employer.
That's you.
People are gonna be like, yo, didn't he say he worked for so and so? Somebody's gonna want this guy like, yo, this is how your employees are?
Mm-hmm. This is why my boss's name shall remain nameless.
Oh yeah, definitely don't tell me her name. At least not on the air. You can tell me her name afterwards. I'll go follow her. I'm gonna get.
What you vote for?
I'm gonna go vote for her. And I'm about to mute my mic. Most of it is sliding at the end. All right, mic's unmuted. Listen, man, I love me a strong professional woman. Like you understand, like these little young gold diggers and skeezers out here. I hate them. I hate what these young broads are about these days, man. Like that's just like when you find a chick that got old school values, man. Like man, you better haircut that broad.
See, I remember back in the 80s, if you ever told one of the chicks to get with you because you had a lot of money, she was like, screw you. Now she's like, I want to screw you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
You know, so let's move on. You know what's crazy? Yeah, you know, talk about screwing people. It's perfect timing. Let's talk. Let's bring up something that we haven't talked about all podcast, and that is the lovely product of Blue Chew.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about politicians. We're talking about cheeks,
Down my thrill.
right? We're talking about tapes and all kinds of stuff.
Blue Chew Hill.
We got Blue Chew. Now, what is Blue Chew? Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you have to do is open up the pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my promo code of GSSS, you're gonna release that pressure out of it.
Blue Chew will help you get rid of the blues. With Blue Chew, you can't lose.
If you use my promo code of GSSS, you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for free. Let's go to bluechew.com. When they ask for the promo code, type in GSSS. Bam. First order. 6. Free. That's you. Now, when you take your Blue Chew, you make sure that you have somebody to do. Because you don't want to take a full Blue Chew and the next thing you sit there with blue balls because you got an erection for the next 4 hours. That could be you. Blue balls do come true. It can happen to you. But you don't have to worry about that. You get yourself some Blue Chew. Some of you may be saying, well, I don't need Blue Chew. And I know some of you saying I don't need that shit just based off of foolish pride. But it's okay. If you don't need it, forget it. I know too many people that want it. Because you know what? They like to go 8 rounds. Or they normally go 8 rounds. They want to go 15 rounds. They were talking a lot of shit in the DMs, but they went out drinking a little too much. They got a little bit of whiskey dick. Blue Chew, natural cure for whiskey dick. Natural cure for whiskey dick. You know what I mean? No more licky for 45 minutes just so your dick can get hard again. I mean, unless it just takes 45 minutes to come from color me limitless. Color me genius. Right? You Blue Chew it. Ladies, if he starts talking shit to you in them DMs, go on my website. Go to the website, bluechew.com, order some Blue Chew. You make sure he does everything he said he was going to do in them DMs. Blue Chew. You blow your back out trying to blow her back out. Because you're just going to chew it and do it. I think I like that. You blow her back out. You blow your back out trying to blow her back out. You talk about, you be like, oh my God, what the fuck I do to myself?
So if you go to the doctor and you prescribe this little blue pill, you'll be on the run with a loaded gun and might not be able to find it.
You gotta go to the doctor. No doctor visits.
I did not ask.
I got you.
Go to bluechew.com. Use the promo code. You don't gotta go to the doctor. Now listen, let's be serious. For the guys that need it, not just want it, right? Just to have a good time. For the guys that need it, There's no awkward conversations with your doctor, right? There's no trying to explain to him what's going on, whatever. You know, trying to find the right way to be like, you know, I've been having these, you know, these random episodes. Like, you know, no more. This normally doesn't happen. Like, you know, like I don't know what's going on today. Like, no more of those random embarrassing moments, fellas. Like that truly needed. Like I said this in just but it was that truly needed. No more embarrassing moments for you. You don't even have to talk to anybody. Go online, bluetooth.com. Use my promo code GSSS. Your first order's free. After that, they refill every month if you wanted to put on auto refill. You don't have to auto refill it every month. You can cancel that and just refill it as often as you need it. But don't be ashamed again. Go into every scenario. Cocked, rock, cocked. What's the situation? Locked, cocked, and ready to rock.
I thought you were going to say locked, cocked, and loaded.
Nah, locked, cocked, and ready to rock. Like, go into every situation like that. No more warm-ups, right? Like, fuck the foreplay. Like, not fuck the foreplay. I'm just saying, you don't have to do foreplay anymore. Like, foreplay is an after. Like, you know, you just did the whole time. You know what I mean? You over here looking like my dude at the Olympics the whole entire time.
Yeah, tease, please.
Exactly. You gotta lick it before you stick it.
I like my line better.
Wasn't that a song? You got to lick it before you stick it. That was a song, right?
Yep. But you got tease, please.
Yo, see, this is why. And maybe I'm from the era that truly feels like this, right? I can never, ever, I may not like the rhythm, I may not like the beat, I may not like the cadence. I can never, ever be upset about the lyrics in music. Freaky lyrics, any of it. So I'm like, yo, my whole entire era had that. I grew up on that shit. Like, while my elders, they were upset with our lyrics, I look at the people from my era, not upset with the lyrics, but like what they're saying, like the nastiness of what they're saying, but so much the content of what they're saying, the cadence and how they're saying it, and the beat in which they're saying it over. Because you realize sometimes you just kind of forget how freaky your era was, and maybe freaky people gravitate to freaky music. Right? So maybe if you're not a freak, you may not notice how freaky your era of music really was. I'm just saying, if you were prude, maybe you didn't realize how freaky your era was. But You Got to Lick It Before You Stick It is a song I remember listening to. Oh my God, what song did I just hear about these kids? It was an ass shaking song. And it's heavy in Florida. What was that song? Oh God damn it! I am forgetting. Freakily. Shit! It was sung by a bunch of kids. The kids are in the video and everything, shaking their ass.
Were they elementary school kids?
I feel like it.
Hey, little mama, why you been so fun?
Yes! Hey, little mama.
Hey, it's that funky why to say?
Hey, it's that funky. Little girls and little boys doing
This
this.
friend of mine was a principal in high school.
Little boys grinding on little girls. This video,
Sheridan Parker,
motive. You understand? This song came on during every school dance.
Oh yeah.
And we knew what was happening. And this is generally when that song came on, and the teachers and principals are like, yeah, a little bit of room there, Mr. Taylor. Like, Mr. Schreider, you put your leg down, please. Oh my God, Mr. Taylor, take her ass out of her face. Hey, it's the fucking why too sad. The fucking why too sad. Because you know what? That came across my mind the other day. And as soon as I thought about that, you know what I started thinking about? That Netflix movie that everybody, even me a little bit,
Girls.
yeah, was got caught up on that because all the little girls twerking. And I'm like, how far have we come?
Ooh, we ain't there that shit.
Right? But you understand, but I also do find it weird because it's my era being upset about it,
The funky watches.
right? Which is also why the people from Freaknik don't want shit coming out because it's my era, right?
The group is called the Puppies.
The puppies,
Yes.
and we all know what puppies are.
Mm-hmm.
It's my era of people being upset about movies like what's in Netflix, right?
I ain't upset about it.
But yet we were growing up with the funky Watusi, singing that shit, dancing that shit.
You need to understand how
Participate in that
dressed
shit.
In my era, girls would go to the club, low-rise jeans, G-strings pulled up over the side, zipper unzipped, or button flies undone.
Yeah, we was there.
Button flies undone with a crop top.
Yeah.
Letting it all hang.
Remember that?
They're like, woo,
I remember that club time too.
yes, sir.
So I find, like I said, I always find it weird how we grow up into these hypocritical forms of ourselves, right? Which
And I would play some of the songs, but not so.
which
Do that shit.
definitely, thank you. Which is why I feel like people from the Freaknik video, like you understand what it is. You understand, right?
Yeah, I know.
There are 4 prominent women that are trying to sue Netflix to stop the production, or they were trying to, I guess, to stop the production of the Freaknik video because obviously it was going to show them taking either money for dollars in their ass crack or cocks down their throat for a good time.
We understand. We just South Florida. If
Ain't
you go to a
nobody
Dolphins
cares.
If you go to a Dolphins tailgate, girls are shaking it for money.
Oh,
At the
yeah.
tailgate.
Oh yeah. We built suit out. This is me being a South Floridian.
At the tailgate,
But
dog, playing that money.
Down
playing
here,
the song, girls are shaking, dudes be throwing down. At the tailgate.
down here, and the people that I now reside with, right? When I say we, you and my community down here, they will build. And you heard me talk about this on the podcast. I can't remember when it happened. A pseudo strip club at the tailgate.
Yes, sir.
So that dollars just start flies. Strippers will come out just to tailgate.
Okay,
Have to go to the game.
Girls are community.
No, but some of them strippers. No. These are
Okay, Sunday.
no. Some of these are strippers. Like these are the strip club, and because my brother works in it.
Okay, but if they are the strippers, you know what they're doing? They handing out business cards. Come see me.
That too. No, yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
they handing out business
they're
cards.
only there for the tailgate.
They're
They don't
marketing.
pay. They don't pay to go to the game.
No,
They
they're marketing.
hand out cards, and then they're stripping.
That's
There's
right.
only like 3-4 of them.
Right, but they're their marketing, dude.
And in 3-4 hours, they make like $5,000 each. Because you know what happens? Everybody start hearing about it. And when you get to this point in time of football and tailgating, if you have a spouse that tailgates with you, eventually she's going to get saucy enough, well, she's even going to be curious enough to want to go see the stripper station at least once and put $1 in a butt crack. Listen, I don't even want to date a chick that isn't willing to put $1 in a butt crack. If I don't go to strip clubs a lot often, like these days.
Can't do it on that.
But if we go to a strip club or an adult entertainment center establishment, right? And I'm with a broad and she's too uptight to shove $1 bill in another chick's crotch, I think that's my red flag to leave you.
See, you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, we're from South Florida. I have a certain sports bar that I go to where the ladies dress in corsets and fishnets. Furthermore, if I go there and I kick a
Twin
little game,
Peaks?
corsets and fishnets. I'm not talking about the cutoff shorts and the lumberjack crop top. I'm talking courses and fishnets
Which place is this?
players. But anyway, I go there.
Oh, the former. Wait. Oh no, players.
I go there, and there's a certain young lady who volunteered to clean my house. Now she brought her little kid with her, but she came to clean my house. I got this woman to come to my house just to clean it.
Whatever. She can
No, hold on.
Because you cut him out.
But hold on. I wasn't stupid enough to try to hit on her. I was just kicking a little game, being a nice guy, and now I'm going out with the chick and we having dinner.
Okay, fair enough.
Just because I understood that if you're willing to dress in fishnets and corsets to serve me drinks, it may take me a long time. But I'm gonna bust that ass. Thank God Almighty, I'm gonna bust that ass. It's gonna happen.
And next week, people, I will have some blue chew samples.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen, but you just gotta take your time.
I got some blue chew samples coming. I thought I was gonna have them this week. It's been a while. I've been waiting for the shipment for a while right now. So I've been playing around with it. But it's coming in next week. And next week I'll be in a new location as well too. So we'll start getting an idea. Don't worry. For the next 3 months, so from now until the beginning of next season, we are going to see how Wednesdays are going to flow. Wednesdays may change from 8:07 to 9:07.
Okay.
All right, because I just may need a little bit more time. Like I said, I may not be here by 8:07. I just need a little bit more time to get things flowing and get into the groove of things. But as you guys know, when the basketball season is over, trivia season is official. So I'll still be coming here after basketball season. So my podcast season ends right around July 4th. So from July, say from the second week in July until the first week in September, is going to be music and trivia.
Okay.
And that's it. $20 gift cards to Sharkies.
Yes, sir.
I'm even going to change up the trivia format.
Okay.
Again. I'm really trying to find a way and to prepare you, right? Because you're here all the time, right? I figure if anybody should be able to get an idea of what's going to go on with this trivia, should be a regular and somebody that participates all the time. It's the MyT Perks, like MyT Perks rewards, right?
Oh yeah.
What it's probably going to end up going to. So you guys are not going to know the right answer to the question anymore, ever, probably. And because you won't have time to hear it. 2 minutes, answer as many questions as possible.
Oh, okay.
Whoever answers the most questions, that's the person that gets that gift card. We're gonna do 3 rounds. We're probably gonna end up doing like 3 rounds to start it off with for the evening. Now, granted, you realize you win round 1. Unfortunately, my brother, you can't play round 2 or round 3. I want a new winner.
Okay.
You just want to get like the same person that wins round 2. You can't play round 3. I want to get. We want to get somebody new and a new person to be able to try to win. But I have a strong
You should
feeling.
do 4 rounds.
Well, I'm gonna see how many rounds we get into.
You go 4 rounds. You have a winner round 1 who cannot play round 2. You have a winner round 2 who cannot play round 3. You have a winner round 3 who plays in the final round against the winner round 1, 2, and 3.
Now I need a 4th prize of higher value. Or nah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I want to give a prize away every round.
Okay.
I don't have a bigger prize to give away to all the rest. For all those other guys that do it in the other round. I think I'll do a 3.
You give
Or have it-
the Mary Jane scenario round 1, 2, and 3. And
Listen,
then round 4 is a tribute. You give cards.
I can think about that ways. I've thought about that ways too. Because that holds everybody here. All 3 hours.
I'm in love with Mary Jane.
So all that.
She's
Yeah,
my main thing.
You want me to bring back the joint rewards? You want me to bring back the joint rewards?
Yes, I wasn't smoking when I was giving it to the wife.
Listen, everybody was a winner when I had the joint rewards. everybody was a winner. Even people that didn't
This is where
score,
you do this.
everybody was a winner. Even people that lost were winners. We'll see what summer brings. We'll see what summer brings. Maybe, you know what? That may be it. That fourth round, a pre-roll.
Okay.
You get a nice little joint, and that's your bonus prize. I can dig it.
What about the gift cards?
Somebody with gift cards for the round 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
The bonus round is a joy.
All right. Okay. Good.
Yeah. The bonus round will be the joint.
I was on a motorcycle once.
That would mean that winning round 1, you gotta stay all the way to the end.
Oh yeah.
Winning round 2, you gotta stay to the end. But yeah, we gonna test that out. I'm gonna move myself, and also for that, I'm probably gonna end up moving myself inside. I'm gonna have to hook myself up to your system.
Okay.
But that's the plan for the summer, folks. Wednesdays, MyT trivia here at Sharky's. That's
They got a
trivia.
decent setup because they do the trivia out on Tuesdays.
Is it out here? They do not trivia.
No, they do.
Karaoke.
No, they do trivia out here on Tuesday. Last night they did trivia out here.
Really?
Yeah. It's on Trivia Tuesdays.
So maybe that's why what's his name was confusing. Maybe they have a trivia on Tuesdays,
Yeah.
and he thought that was he thought that was my show.
Yeah. Because I started it right around the time you need that little hiatus.
What the hell? What the hell? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Who the fuck is doing trivia?
I forget her name.
Don't say the boy that does the karaoke. That means they would have stole from me.
That's
I got proprietary.
I cannot say her name. I can't even mention it. She's a very beautiful woman and she has a great voice. She'll be here on Friday night and probably at the Pompano Beach Spring Fling on Saturday.
Let's see. Let's get to our last topic of the day. We got one last topic to get into. We've been on here for a while.
The Dallas Cowboys.
No, why would I talk about them? They're gonna
Luke's
lose.
gone.
I want to talk about the team that stole the show. But did they steal the show, or did they just live up to their name of being the Lake Show? The LA Lakers. They stole Game 1 for the Golden State Warriors, and let's start at the end, right? And that's with the shot of Jordan Poole.
The guy retired.
Did you like that shot?
I mean, did he have a choice?
There were choices.
Not
Like that
great
shot?
ones. Not great ones. If he makes it, we're not talking about it.
That's one of those shots that you hold your head, and if he makes it, you're like, oh, you take that side. But when he misses it, you're like, well, that's what some people are. I'm okay with the shot. Now I'm gonna take it out. So I'm gonna take before I even really go into how much I'm okay with the shot. I think I buried the lead. I was watching the reaction to Shannon Fry from the New York Knicks, Tyrese Halliburton that was drafted by the Kings, and I forget who was the woman that was with them. And the lady and Shannon Fry's reaction was, bad shot. What are you doing? Oh my God. Can't take that. And Tyrese Halliburton was like, I don't see what's wrong with the shot. And he started going through the same thing that I was feeling. It's an open shot. Get down by 3. The only real alternative is for you to tell him to take a dribble in. So now you're a foot closer to the defender and pull up for that shot. Now, it was funny. Shannon Fry's reaction was, that's why you're here with us. And initially, I read the reaction, right? I read that portion before I heard the reaction. When I read that, I thought it was in the meaning of this is why we have somebody from today's generation here with us, because we need that different perspective.
Right.
Nah, he meant that as that's the reason why your team ain't winning right now. You're here with us talking and not playing. And I was like, I don't see what's wrong with that shot. Because those and Bennett, Jennifer is kind of right. This is kind of analytics.
Right.
Of what we've learned from today's game. Like, that's a good shot. That's a high percentage shot.
I don't know how.
In today's game. The shot okay.
Steph Curry, yes.
No. So what happens is that from analytics, he's wide open. That's probably a 75% make shot, or let's say 60% make shot, right?
Steph Curry said
One dribbles in, where the defender is now closer to you and able to, and they're also able to take 1 foot in to challenge. That 60% chance make now drops down to 20.
I got you.
He jinks it to the hole. That drops down to 8%, right? Or let's say 12%. The chance that he's able to make the shots and get fouled, 2%. Not exact numbers, but you understand what I mean here.
I got you. I'm okay with the shot.
Right? So when Shannon Fry responds is like, oh, these are analytics. No, he's right. Part of this is analytics because I went through both emotions, right? I went through old school me and evolution, right? I quickly went through because at first I'm like, ooh, why would you? And then when they show the replay, I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's a perfectly good shot. That's the best shot in today's game, right? In today's game, this isn't Jordan Poole being a Wild West gunslinger and doing something out of the norm. In today's game, that exact shot is available, and Jordan Poole has the ability to make that kind of shot. He's not Steph, but he is Steph-like. He's, you know what I mean? He's kind of out there. Yeah, he's like Trey Young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I'm not Steph, but I'm Steph. Like I can do some of these things. And he was hot at the time. He had just made 3 of them. So in a way, you're like, yo, I'm good. I'm feeling myself. I just made 3s. I got the hot hand. They gave me an open shot to tie the game. I'm taking it.
I got you.
So
That's you?
yeah, that's what I say. Yeah. I got hand sanitizer there too. Just throw it in the bag, please. So I'm not against the shot. And again, when I heard Shannon Fry say that this is why you're here, which is why I like having one of my co-hosts, KJ, he's 25, right? So there's a or whatever age he is, maybe he's 27, right? He's gotten older since I said this. But there's a 15-age-year gap between him and I.
Right.
My other co-host, he was 55. There's a 15-age-year gap between him and I. Right? I always loved that dynamic because you kind of get to see.
Maybe you hit 420.
I'm 41 now.
Okay, there's only 10 years between you and I.
So,
And we'll be 11 on August 9th.
Likely story.
July 4th. No. I mean, I was age like that.
When's your birthday?
July 17th.
Okay. We're like 9 years and 11 months.
So I always like that having that dynamic when all 3 of us was here because it also gives us 3 different generational perspectives on the game and every scenario in life. You know what I mean? Like we have 3 different eras of what we were truly influenced by and how we look at things. This is one of those times where I thought that's what Shannon Fry was kind of referring to. But I'm glad you were here because I really thought he was appreciative or let's just put it this way. He missed the opportunity, I guess I could say. They missed the opportunity to bring that in full circle and realize that, okay, this is not the reason why you're here is not because your team lost. The reason why you're here is to bring a younger, more hip, current perspective to the game. Right? Especially being a guy that's only been in the league, what, like 3 years maybe. Right? You have a very fresh outlook on the game. Not just a fresh outlook on how you approach the game, but also a fresh outlook now. In your 3 years, you're on 2 different teams on how coaches go about coaching the game. And in Sacramento and in Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton has that shot. If they're down by 3, 10 seconds left, they're giving him the green light to take that shot. So I don't think. No, fuck that. I'm not going to give you guys a disqualifier. To anybody that had an issue with that shot, you may need to recalibrate on how you approach the game of basketball, maybe even sports, but let's start with basketball. The game of basketball to adapt yourself or bring yourself up to the times. Because I understand, in the 80s, horrible shot. 90s, bad shot. 2000s, maybe not taking that shot. Maybe. Stephen Curry era. Not too many taking that shot. Right? You still need a guy like the Phoenix head coach. Like to really have that, to have D'Antoni, to have a team where he promotes that. Right? But for the most part, I get it. For you guys just watch the game from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, horrible shot. You wanted to take it in, but I just told you, you take it in. He has a 2% chance of making that shot with an N1. 2% versus a wide open shot for 60%. Also, you have to look at the difference too. In the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, players did not practice that shot on a daily basis. Today, they're taking that shot and pop one of basketball. In Pee Wee basketball, your little snot nose is taking that shot. Your snot-nosed grandson is taking that shot. Your snot-nosed nephew is taking that shot. Because that's where today's game is at. So if there's anybody that's not feeling that shot, just recalibrate yourself a little bit, right? Because you're not just dating yourself, and I know whatever era of basketball that you grew up watching was the good old days and the golden era. I get it, but you're purposely allowing yourself to be antiquated, right? When you know better, talk to the young you. Would the young you have not wanted you to evolve with the time? Would the young you wanted you to get stuck in your ways and not be able to see the new thing coming? Nah, man, stop it right now. Stop it. You purposefully becoming a grumpy old man, grumpy old woman for no reason. No fucking reason. I'm okay with the shot. I'm okay with the shot by Jordan Poole. It's a wide open shot. We saw him make 3 other shots before that 3-point shot. We've seen him make that shot before. We've seen him practice that shot. We've seen him make that shot in clutch moments. There was a time where the phrase was going around heavily. The NBA, it's a make or miss league. Jordan Poole missed it. If you want to come back, if you want to say that, oh, look at Stephen Curry's reaction, you can tell he was disappointed. He was disappointed that they missed the shot and didn't push us to overtime. He ain't disappointed that Jordan Poole took a bad shot. He's just mad that the shot didn't go in, as we all should have been, or anybody that should have been on his teammate. Not mad that damn Jordan Poole, why you take that? Nah, you're upset because it didn't go in. And the LA Lakers did the right thing by doubling Steph and forcing the ball out of his hand and forcing one of the other guys to make a shot. That other guy happened to be Jordan Poole. He didn't make it. They'll live and die with that if you're a Lakers fan. Golden State Warriors, you also live and die with that as well. You rather Steph, but you also live and die with Jordan Poole taking it. These are going to be his growing pains. You're still trying to usher him into to be the next guy after Steph. You're trying to pass that baton on to him. Remember, not pass the torch, right? But the baton on to him because you're still in the race. It just isn't your leg anymore. This game ended, even though just not just based off that shot, but this game ended wildly. Period. You understand? With about 2 minutes left, 90 seconds left, Golden State Warriors are up by 6, 7, almost a dozen points. Minute 48, if I wanted to be exact. I remember they were up heavily. Next thing you know, you blink, took one long blink, and this game was over. And I'm like, how the hell did the Golden State Warriors lose this? But it was a back and forth game all game. Warriors were up, they lost that lead to the Golden State, to the Lakers. Lakers go up by 12, Golden State Warriors come back. And they basically did that all game long. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that game was long. Listen, like this podcast, that game was long. No problem, man. That's it.
All right.
You be easy. Be safe until next time. But like this podcast, that game was long. We went when the third quarter was over. I was like, oh yes, the game's finally done. Because I was looking at the time. I thought the end of the third quarter is the end of the game. And then I look up, right? Then I look up, and I didn't even look up. I closed my eyes, and I close my eyes, and I'm like, okay, I'll listen to the end or whatever. Or listen to the post game stuff. And I'm listening, and they're talking, and then I hear them say, "Oh, as we end the third, as we begin to start the fourth." I'm like, I open my eyes. What? What? The fourth? What the fuck you mean? I thought the game was over. So, shit. As exciting as these games are, I was exhausted yesterday. I really was. I was at the crib yesterday too, working through whatever things I needed to work through. Right, cleaning, sorting, organizing. We're still in between spots. Right, we haven't finished the movie fully yet. Right, we finished that up this Saturday. But I was exhausted. After I watched the Knicks game, and definitely the fact that we got that done, and I expended all of that, and I expended all of that energy, right? Oh shit! Nandi responded back to me. Damn, I really want to go to the beach. It's already been there. Hey. I am good. I am very good. Actually, may I have...
Yeah.
Yes, please. I think I'm done here.
Well, I'll just call Pearl. Pearl.
Listen, Nandi, yo, she's good. She's like, yo, this is 3 hours later. Listen, I just saw.
There's a billboard off of like.
I started recording.
When that thing came, sort of like.
I started recording. Okay. Yeah. Let's get into our last statements. I didn't do trivia today. It's okay. You can't get into trivia every day. But
This is not for me.
these playoffs, I can't express enough of how captivated captivated I have been with these playoffs. And it's every series, right? Even the series, thank you very much. Even the series that I don't care about, which is the Phoenix and the Denver series. Okay, let me rephrase this. The series that I don't care to watch, I still have a high level of interest in. I know it's weird to say, right? Because I want to know who's going to win. I just don't want to watch the games. And I don't think I blame Phoenix, even though since the addition of Chris Paul, right? So I guess after they missed the championship one, but since the addition of Chris Paul, I've gotten less interested in Phoenix. Even though since the addition of Chris Paul, Phoenix has gotten better. That first year, I was a little bit more interested. Like I was kind of locked in, wanted to see what was going on. They made that run, and after that, it was like, And maybe it's because I don't have any faith in them. I don't have any real belief in them. I don't think that a championship is truly in their grasp this year. And Denver, I don't know why Denver just doesn't excite me. Let's keep it right? Denver just doesn't excite me.
There's a scene.
Listen, I'm telling you something that's very hard to do is talking pod. Type. Yeah, talking and podding, typing and podding, texting and podding is very different.
It's not an accident.
How much time we have left in the show so we can start wrapping this up? Oh, we got less than 10 minutes. We may be done before that. Denver, Phoenix. I have Denver winning in 5. Maybe I'm a coward too, because I should really call it in 4. But Denver, Phoenix, I think that's going to end in 5. Miami and New York, I think that's ending in 5 as well. Lakers, Golden State, I think is going 7. And Denver and Philly and Boston, I think that goes 6. So I got 2 5s, 1 6, 1 7. I think that's what I'm standing on. I think that's exactly what I think that's what I'm standing on, fully and officially. Now you realize that I'm not gonna play the more seats that way. I'm only gonna have people sit to the left of me from here on out. Why? Because they steal my fan. And 2, every time they burp, it becomes right in my face. Oh man! I want to thank you guys for listening to the show. For real. If you've been listening, you see Joel Embiid hobbling back. Joel Embiid may have come back too early. And they may be playing too passive with Joel Embiid. See, because the way I look at it, if Joel Embiid is coming back from an injury, then he should be the number 2 guy to James Harden until he gets right or starts feeling comfortable again. But this one is tough. Yeah, I have this one ended in 6. The winner? I don't know about that one. Golden State LA, that ends in 7. I'm going Golden State on that one. Heat Knicks is 5 with the Knicks winning. Denver Phoenix is 5 with Denver winning. But honestly, truly, when I talk about that Knicks shit, that's with my heart. My head believes that he's gonna whoop our ass. So, but you know, like I've done all year, giving you hot picks and head picks. And honestly, I really don't believe that the Knicks are going to beat the Knicks. That the Knicks are going to beat the Heat in a 7-game series. I can say this now that nobody else is listening. Right? I really don't believe it. But I can stay hopeful at the very least. And with that said, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to wrap up. And I'm going to head my ass home. This is your boy, Talon. New Year, Save the Beer, Taylor, of the MyT Sports Podcast. James Harden misses another 3.